Shanann Watts and her two daughters, 3-year-old Celeste and 4-year-old Bella, vanished on Monday. Their startling disappearance triggering a statewide alert as police and the FBI focus on her home outside Denver, where she was last seen.
Say hi. Say hi. Cece likes the camera. Say hi, Cece.
She loves the camera.
Say hi. Hi. She loves the camera. I don't know if you guys saw her. And then there's Bella. Say hi. We got to get her dressed. We have a team meeting here in, I don't know what time it is, in like 45 minutes.
Go in the ocean. I mean,
Where's that?
I was in a really, really, really bad place. And I got a friend request from Chris on Facebook. And I was like, oh, what the heck? I'm never going to meet him. Except, well, one thing led to another. And 8 years later, we have 2 kids. We live in Colorado. And he's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
That's the picture. Oh.
Hi, baby. It's hot.
Big hug.
Big hug.
Where is he? Where's Chris?
And the viciousness of the crime. And equally aggravating in this court's determination is the despicable act of disposing of the bodies in the manner in which they were done in this case. I've been a judicial officer now for starting my 17th year, and I could objectively say that this is perhaps the most inhumane and vicious crime that I have handled out of the thousands of cases that I have seen.
Okay, whoops. I'm here. There we go. Okay, so let me bring that down. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is a live stream. Felt like it was never going to happen. So thank you guys so much for being here and bearing with me. That took forever. We have really bad thunderstorms here in upstate New York. It was like a beautiful day. Got pretty hot though. You know how that is in the summer, right? It gets just so humid. It's like the sky just bursts on top of you and all these sounds and lightning and just craziness. And my internet is running really, really slow. It doesn't always affect it, but sometimes it does. So I don't know what's going on. I had some trees down on my property last week and our power went out. So I don't know if that has to do with it, but man, it's always something, right, guys? It's like always freaking something, but that's okay. So I say life is hard. Be good to each other, right? What the funk? That's awesome. Cece looks just like Shanann's mom. I think she does too. Kaz, Chick, I'm so glad you're here. Mike Applegate, I'm so glad you're here. I added Honey Bun as a moderator because this was kind of a last minute thing. But I'm so glad you guys are here. Oh, Kevin, you too. Awesome. Hey, thanks, guys. And everyone else who's here. I appreciate y'all. There's so many people that just popped in. And I know this already, started like crazy at a crazy time. So I'm just really so glad all of you guys are here. So let's see. Let me bring up my community post from earlier just so I can get y'all on the same page here. So we're doing this live stream right now. We're live. Welcome. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to do the premiere. It was going to be last night. It was going to be the night before. I don't know. I had to reschedule it so many times. I was going to do it tonight. I was really looking forward to doing it tonight. I have a couple other creators that are crime and justice advocates, and they should be in the premiere chat tomorrow. And we've been working on this for a bit, and as we were kind of going to roll it out tonight, we brought up a few things that are in the content that we all felt really it would be wise to put it through a legal review with our channel attorneys before putting it up for everyone to see, because sometimes it's just a good thing to do. So that's why I, instead of doing it tonight, have to make it tomorrow night at 9. So that's what's going on with that. And, you know, it's not just like I went, took a nap and ate some donuts and didn't finish it for you. I just want to make sure we protect our channel and everyone involved and, you know, all good things. So, let's see here. That was for tonight. Okay. So here, I'm just going to shoot. Well, you know, instead of reading it for you here, let me just pull the graphic right into the stream here through the backstage door, and we'll just work with it like that. Okay. Welcome to everybody who's here. Come on in, make yourselves comfortable. We just ask that you please be respectful to the victims and the family members. We understand, I understand, and we all understand, seriously, the moderators too, especially. They are awesome. Please listen to them and say thank you to them. That this is a very polarizing case and people have very, very strong feelings about various aspects, dimensions, and dynamics of this case. I have had this channel for almost 3.5 years now, having no idea it was going to become what it is, but I have heard and seen it all as it relates to this case, guys, and some of it is really freaking ugly, right? And some of it's really beautiful, and some of it is, you know, this channel community is amazing, and it usually stays that way, but I understand sometimes you just want to like snap about something, or, you know, it does come out that way in chat. We forgive you. We get it, you know, but please just try to be respectful, because that's just what we wanted. We just want to have respect here, right? So that's all. Okay. So I'm going to bring this up. My computer is like, I'm not even listening to you tonight, girl. Forget it. I've got mine on my own now. Didn't you know that? I got one today at the Walmart. My computer is like, damn. Okay. Oh, I have to do something important here. I need you to hear this from our friend of the Watts case really quickly while I do that. So I have it prepared for you. You're going to love it. I know you are. Where'd she go? Where'd she go? Where'd you go, girl? Where'd you go? I think it's this one.
Welcome to Watts the Obsession, a channel that respects both victim families. We ask that you do the same in chat and in your comments.
It's me. You guys just call me back when you have a chance. Bye. Hi. It's me. I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi. Call me back.
Thank you so much for coming out here with me, Christopher. I am having a wonderful time. You mean a lot to me, and I'm glad that you're having a blast. I am so out of breath.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm really trying to help you guys. I need you guys to help me too. Like,
yes,
we'll
ma'am.
do this as a team, but just don't.
So
fucking let me down,
the
please.
reason why we can't, like, I did think about this yesterday, that I would like to sit down with you once we have your text messages and the phone calls, and we can put them in a some type of easily looking, that we can sit down and look at them and compare them, and we can kind of get the context of how everything was going that night. I would like to do that with you. Unfortunately, so the download that we got yesterday is going to take multiple days to be analyzed. I probably won't have it back till next week. And then because you guys did have so many text messages, one of my analysts is working on getting those in order, so we can put something together where we can actually sit down and discuss it. But I do think that's something that I want to do in the near future, sometime probably next week.
I mean, I can do that. I don't mind giving you guys my time. I just need you guys to, like, help me with my employer and try to just help me brace for this media thing.
I'm with you. We definitely need to accelerate the case, because the more it takes, the less sure that they are of situations.
He murdered her. She's out of the picture. you're never going to know if she was pregnant. If he can get away with murder, you're not going to. I got divorced from my wife. You say, do you understand what I'm saying here? If she's gone,
But this.
Don't lead,
hypothetically,
please.
yeah,
Don't lead
hypothetically,
on.
if she,
Okay.
you understand where I'm going. If
Right,
you
but you're-
didn't know,
You're leading into questions that are nothing with your.
if you didn't know though,
Wait, Nick.
that she was there,
Did you hear what I said?
I'm following you.
Stop asking about it. She didn't have anything to do with it. She wasn't there that morning. She voluntarily cooperated with law enforcement. She provided us all the information. I'm not going to tell you where she's at. Stop. Leave me alone.
Damn, that district attorney Rourke, he's such a pleasant guy. He seems like an amiable man. Like he's really easy to get along with, and he does things for the good of the people. And I really totally respect him. Those were all lies. I think he's a horrible person at this point. I really stood up for that guy for a long time, but some things have just happened, and I see him in a very different light now, and especially after just doing recent research on, the content I've been putting out recently and the video that I'm going to be premiering tomorrow night. Get ready, get buckled in. It's going to be like a 2-hour premiere probably. I think the man is just absolutely despicable. So yeah. Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome. I see all you guys coming in. I'm so glad you guys are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Gotta get down to live chat. Hey, think for yourself. Oh, I know you love him too. Think for yourself. I know you do. He's so lovable. He's so lovable. Let me just grab some you know what I'm going to do? Okay. So not the whole premise, but one of the things that I want to talk about, that I did talk about in the video that we made that's going to be premiering tomorrow night, is this kind of different timeline of events that were critical, that happened in the days and hours around, the tragedy that happened on the morning of August 13th. Now, I've mentioned to you guys plenty of times before, because I'm really stuck on this, because even though I think that the timeline is the best thing done in the entire freaking discovery, I mean, if I had to pick one, I don't know for sure. I mean, there's no even comparison. And I have not done like a quantifiable study of the items in the discovery, but I think it's pretty good. One of the reasons is I really like the investigator who put it together, who is David. Oh my gosh, I can't. David Prill. Yeah, I was going to call him Purcell, but it's Amanda Purcell, the gatekeeper and district attorney Rourke's office, basically. So we don't want to mix those two up. And he was one of the investigators, and you can tell by reading his narrative throughout the discovery timeline, which is not something that, the authors of anything in discovery often do. In a law enforcement discovery supplements or whatever it is you contribute to it, the idea, generally speaking, right, is to be totally objective. You don't want to add subjectivity into a discovery most of the time when you are one of the fact finders, an investigator, an agent, whoever that may be, because it just would be stupid because the case may be presented differently than in the light that your commentary, put something in, and it's going to make then the facts that you did find through your hard work and investigation have less weight. There's a whole number of reasons you wouldn't want to do that. And also because that's just not the place to do it in the judicial process. That subjectivity is for the lawyers to bring to the floor within certain reasons, using, while sticking by all of their legal and ethical standards that probably keep them on the I can't think of words tonight, where they get accredited to be a lawyer, and they don't want to lose that, because if they do, they are screwed. And that thing is called the American Bar Association. It came in my brain just now. Oh my Lord. But normally, again, we don't see law enforcement adding kind of sort of opinion commentary in something, especially that should be as objective as a timeline. Now, I'm going to save that for the preview tomorrow, but to show you what I mean. Sorry, I just want to get the print nice and big for you. Oh my gosh, I found just today various pieces from the digital discovery that was released in part, but then there were other items. If you wanted to get them, you had to specifically like beg, plunder, and pillage. But I got a couple of things that I thought were really interesting, and I thought I lost them when my computer had a catastrophic hack during a live stream, and it wasn't even on this case, it was on Kylie Rodney. But I found them today, so I'm really excited to go back through them and see what's in there. So I'll do that with you guys sometime soon. Ooh, I'm glad you said this, Lisa. Lisa says, and welcome, Lisa says, I think Watts, the human leech, was planning to move in with NK. He very well may have, but the whole kind of crux of the content that I'm premiering tomorrow, well, not a big part of it has to do with, okay, things that NK said herself in her very final confession, that one on August 26th, 2018. It was the 20th. Yeah, it was the 26th because there was one on the 15th, 16th, 17th, 21st, and 26th. Two of them were phone interviews. This last one was still with Kevin Kovac, who was finally getting noticeably irritated with her. Thank God. Because it was like, are you so damn smitten with her, whatever, that you can't even like contain yourself, child? You know, but he did a little bit here. And oh, Kessich's been a member for 8 months. That's awesome, Kessich. I appreciate you. Are you feeling better? Oh, and then thank you so much. Margie Singer says, enjoy all your videos on the Watts case. Thank you so much. I would like to hear your thoughts on Suzanne Morphew case. Oh my goodness. I have never done content on that case because I just didn't. I followed. It's one of those cases I followed, just like the Maddie Soto, which is going to turn into the Stephen Stearns trial. Well, I've done a little bit of content on that, but some cases I just kind of watch. I'm always watching the really interesting ones, but you know, to make content on all of them gets a little bit crazy. But yeah, I could definitely do that sometime. Today was my very last day of work, and now I have 2 months of a summer break. The behavioral therapy office is closed, teenagers. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to be doing some new things with the channel, so I'm so excited about it. Hey, Kelly, how are you doing, girl? Great to see you. I just see you every now and then around, and it's always such a joy to see you. Seriously, appreciate you. So okay, so the things that Nichol reveals in this fifth and final interview are so interesting, guys, because listen, as she did each successive interview, she had learned more about what law enforcement had on her. So she adjusts her story accordingly without fail. I mean, Nichol Kessinger is a many of things, including a skanky empanada, but she has a very sharp and spry brain that has the ability to work quickly and store a shitload, you know, in a certain kind of order that I don't think my brain could. And she artfully, and that's not a compliment, I mean, it just really is a testament to her level of, you know, manipulation is a character trait in her life, where some people might be manipulative as a descriptor of a certain situation. I do believe for her, it certainly is a character trait. So by the time we get to this final and fifth interview, and she is scrambling so hard to cover her skanky empanada ass, and she's changing her stories, and we've seen how she's changed her stories, and we have studied them at this point. Good job, District Attorney Rourke. See what happens when you leave us with no answers? We're going to do it ourselves. Good job. This is your doing, my friend. And it becomes really, really clear. It was such a pleasure to work with these two guys, these justice advocates who are creators, who will probably make themselves known tomorrow. And they'll tell you why maybe they didn't want to, but I'm going to let them speak to that, but they will. Kind of putting our brains together about this, because we all came from like kind of different experiential angles with this case, and, you know, done some like deep things having to do with this case, but in different ways. It was really kind of magical because it made it very clear for us to kind of just like talk back and forth, and then to see very, very clearly why Nichol Kessinger was saying what she was saying about certain things, guys, that were so, super incriminating. And I don't want to give away everything we're going to be talking about tomorrow because we work so hard to present it in a certain way so it all makes sense, every little detail explained, so you can just like walk down the journey of thinking about that like with us. So I don't want to like cheapen that, but it's pretty rad. And somebody just said, you think that Chris Watts the Leach wants to move in with NK. Something really funny happens in that they're in that final interview when she gets that phone and she's like, oh my God, I got some text messages from Chris. I really, really want to help you. I was so upset that I deleted all my messages. I really want to help you guys. Am I helping them? Are you going to be able to get my messages? I got some here. I really want to help you guys. I really want to help you guys. You just need to help me, though, get through all this job stuff. And can you change my name for me? And never mind what I was going to just say, but she really falls apart in that interview, and she's all excited about seeing these messages be recovered, and she's just kind of reading them out loud. Now, they happen to be talking about the idea of Chris Watts and Shanann selling the house, and I'll explain the whole story during this premiere tomorrow, or it's already made, it's already cooked, done. It's just being approved. If we have to admit anything, that'll be easy enough to do, and I can still do it tomorrow night. Just, a little editing. Hopefully we won't have to, though. But if we do, I'm going to explain to you afterwards what it was that we were told we had to remove for legal reasons, so you can still have an understanding of what it is and go find it yourself. Sometimes you just can't put it all together, So, it happens to be texts of her finding apartments for Chris, and she screws up because she talks about how much freaking time she was spending trying to find apartments for that man. Like, he is not a grown ass adult and cannot find an apartment to rent on his own, right? And then Kevin Kovacs says to her, she's like, oh, I really love this apartment, but I sent it myself first because I didn't want to overwhelm him with it. Like, I finally sent it to him, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're really gonna love this. And Kevin Kovacs says, what date is that? And she goes, and she's like, oh, August 11th. And he goes, oh, is that the night you guys went out to dinner? And she's like, yeah. And she just kind of like sinks back in her chair and folds her arms over her front of her. Oh my God. It's just one of the things that made it so clear of how she was certainly, if Chris Watts killed his family with his hands, and I personally do believe he did. Now, let me be clear. He absolutely belongs to be in jail. The motherfucker does for the rest of his life, no doubt. What exactly happened when those tragic crimes were committed? I don't know. Nobody really knows. Nobody knows. And if somebody does, you better step forward right now and get yourself a link to that panel and get yourself up here and talk. But, I think that we know that NK was involved in a criminal level because just the things that we know that she did, that she admits to doing herself, are felonies, a whole 3 of them in Colorado that could put her in prison for up to 7 years. But what she reveals to us in that final interview, when you are Watts case nerds like us, and if you're new here, welcome. You'll be soon, and that's awesome. It's a good place to be. And you have heard what other people have to say over the years, and you've researched it yourself, and you've thought about yourself, and you studied yourself, and you've watched at least 1,500 live streams and about 3,489 uploaded videos on this case over the past 5 years. And you have all of that insight and information in your mind. I think that as we, because people will say, oh, there's really nothing new left in this case. Well, obviously, like, brand new things aren't happening. The poor victims have been dead for almost 6 years now. And, certain things have been written in stone in the history books. And we know about them, and they are done. Certain things have been written in stone in the history books as well. And a number of people from raging places in society, backgrounds, and positions of power have all been trying to cover up that stone slate of what is written in history for, say, I don't know, August 12, 2018, when Nichol Kessinger mysteriously does not appear in the Discovery timeline for 43 hours from when she gets home from her dinner with Chris at the Lazy Dog on the 11th of August. She promptly searches. Let me just bring it up for you so you have a visual. She promptly searches 4 minutes after he leaves her house. She searches Shanann Watts, Chris Watts, 2825 Saratoga Trail. That, of course, is Watts' dress. And also Ronnie Watts. I'm not sure. I can't figure out exactly Ronnie Watts, but the Shanann and Chris are obvious. We know that she has searched them a number of times, beginning back in 2017, well before she admits to knowing Chris. And as I say, every chance I get to, because it is so important. The very first item on the discovery timeline is her search of Shanann Watts of September 1st, 2017, a full 9 months before she is said to meet Chris Watts. The next item goes to May, when Shanann creates that pregnancy video of herself. We did it again. And Chris walks in like the freaking monster he is. And whatever happens, we've seen it, right? And then it goes through the 3 months from when she announced that pregnancy to her death, outlining all of these significant events in the timeline. This timeline is replete with the name Nichol Kessinger until Saturday evening at 10:04 p.m. I just got to find it here. I'm close, but let's see. And then she doesn't appear again until the evening of the day of the murders, well after they had happened. No mention of her on the discovery timeline on Sunday, August 12th. That was the day of the what? The 111-minute phone conversation and a number of other significant things that are not there, that you're like, why the fuck is that not there, right? Okay, so here we are on all right. And Sherry, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I appreciate you, sweetheart. So guys, this autism mom of 2 is our girl Sherry P. So if you didn't notice that, she has in parentheses afterwards, but that's our good old Sherry. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, honey. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And someday we're going to get her up on a live stream. We were having technical difficulties with that. So here, I'm going to make this just bigger for you. Yeah. Thank you, Sherry. Now I have to make it bigger so I can see it. So it says down towards the bottom. So, well, it says at 2200 hours or 10 p.m., Watts told Jeremy that he would be home in 20 minutes. So ostensibly we can determine that's when he's leaving Nichol Kessinger's apartment, because we know that they said a million times it takes 20 minutes. And it's Jeremy's daughter that's at home, at the Watts home, babysitting Bella and Cece. I almost said Shanann, Bella and Cece. So 4 minutes after he's walking out of her apartment, she can't wait but to search for, it says, having concluded her evening tryst with Watts, Kessinger searched the internet on topics like Chris Watts, Shanann Watts, Ronnie Watts, 2825 Saratoga Trail. And you know why she Googled 2825 Saratoga Trail? Chris was going to have hell to pay if that house was not really up for sale. And I promise you that. Just very interesting. So then we could scroll down and see, but there's like really dense pages here. So I'm not going to like scroll through them super slow. But then, we go into Sunday. Oh, there we go. Man, my computer's funky tonight. So now we're on Sunday the 12th. Not a damn mention of her throughout. You know what? I'm going to skim this and make sure that that is accurate, because I said it about 1,000 times now. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to have to be like, oops. But I'll say oops. I will. But nope. Okay. Let me keep going. So I'm pretty damn sure, because I have checked this many times, but I'm doing it again because I strive to give you accurate information all the time on everything when I can, when it's facts that we're looking for. Having discussions and things that aren't factual because people are theorizing and whatnot is great. But when we're supposed to be talking about facts, they're going to be facts. So if I'm going to check 65 times, that's fine. What else do I have to do? Okay, still no NK, just Watts, Chris Watts, and a lot of Shanann talking with her friends. Shanann communicating to him. She's being so sweet to him now. It's so sad because you can really tell, yep, there's no NK on the 12th, none. You can really tell that Shanann, I do believe, had a sincere kind of change of heart and spirit. And probably one that she needed. You know, she was at an age where she was evolving in her relationships and her sense of self, and probably becoming, you know, less self-centered in her life. And I'm not saying that in the not ditching shenanigans, saying that she deserved to be murdered, guys. All of you out there, you know who you are. That's not what was said. All of us at that age, you know, when we're teenagers, again in our 20s, at certain ages, kind of just like evolve into a different level of life. And I just feel like she was really there. And who knows what that would have resulted in for her. It may have been wonderful things. We don't know. And her life was so tragically ended. It's horrible. And then, so now no mention of Kessinger on the 13th either, but we do know that the 13th at 6. Oh my gosh, why is my brain not working? Is it 16? I'm really tired, guys. I can't believe that. The ping, the Frederick, Colorado ping happens. That's not going to be in here, though, of course, because they are trying their damnedest to cover that up, which we're going to talk about a little bit in the premiere video tomorrow night. And that is so super clear. And even though Nichol Kessinger texts and calls Chris Watts on Monday morning when he's out at Survey 319, weird, right? Not anywhere, just Survey 319, just a place where his family's bodies were found disgracefully disposed of. She is on the phone with him and texts him. And in that phone interview, half of which was redacted, and I have the manuscript printed out that I read for you. Unfortunately, it's 2 characters, Kobach and Kessinger, both kind of idiots. So I was able to manage that. You know, she says accidentally, of course, that, oh yeah, you know, he sent me a picture of, you know, whatever at Survey 319 while I was still on the phone with him, although she had maintained to every investigator all along that she did not talk on the phone with him during the day and did not talk on the phone with him, in fact, until that evening. Well, that's a big fat line. That's not a Discovery Timeline either. That's a Discovery Timeline item I think is worth seeing. What do you think? And whoops, are you okay, Lily? Oh, sorry, my little bunny just like fell. Are you okay, sweetheart? Oh, what'd you do? What are you trying to do? I think she was trying to like jump up on my chair with me. She's so cute. Yes, I just have a little bunny hopping around the house. Yeah, accidentally, right? Hey, Nilda, how are you doing? Hey, Puster baby, how are you doing? All of you guys, welcome. How are you doing? Yeah, right, Kelly. Random field work pick. That's odd. You know, it just it's not of Survey 329. It's not of Survey something, wherever. They were a bunch of Survey numbers that day. It wasn't one of those. It wasn't while he was just driving down the road. He's got an hour drive out there and back. It just happens to be while he's at the oil field where his family's bodies are disposed of after they're murdered. My God, right? Yeah. So where's that? Because that's something I think is worth seeing as well. Right? I want to see that ping. I want to see her doing that crazy stuff on the Discovery Timeline, because what she ended up doing was batshit crazy. And whether she had a literal hand in the, I will not say the word unalivening, in the murders of Chris Watts' family, of Shanann, of Bella, of Cece, and of baby Nico, who wasn't even born into this world yet. She knew what she was doing. And she was just absolutely, she was crazy. I can't, this is of course no justification for him doing what he did. He should have been a big boy and gotten a divorce. My God. I mean, it really takes somebody who either had a mental break or a psychopath of sorts to do what he did. Those are the only 2 ways. I'm convinced. I fully believe those are the only 2 ways. You know, I think there was, you know, at best for her, destruction of physical evidence is what it would be called in Colorado, even though it really is electronic evidence, except for her SIM card that she miraculously broke, apparently. But it does cover all those electronic things she did, and that is a felony. You know, that could land her in jail anywhere from 6 months to, I think, like the top threshold was a little over 2 years. Just for that alone. There's 2 other felonies just involved in what she did with the data. And then there is more, and I'm sure of it. I'm more sure of it than ever today than I was even a week ago. Oh, what the funk says, Bella would be 11, Cece 10, and sweet little Nico would be almost 6. It's so hard to even think about. That is really hard to think about. Silent H Production says, I wish that dogs weren't silent and could speak because Dieter saw it all. I know, little Dieter. Whoops. That poor dude must have had so much anxiety at the moment that, oh, I know. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. I just saw you delete your post. What? Why am I even reading that? Okay. Karen G says, I can't believe they didn't press her about breaking her freaking SIM card. Hey Jody, how are you doing? Keschik says that was in case Kelly thought she was still silent. Oh, okay, gotcha. You guys can hear me, yeah? Okay. Oh, don't leave Keschik alone. Oh, Kelly, I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys for doing what you're doing. Oh. Yeah, what the funk says. So I know I have a heart for Dieter too. Oh my God, I love animals. I mean, I have 28 bunnies. I've been a vegetarian since I was 13. I love them. Hey, Guilty of Crime, how are you doing? Oh, it is. It's Watts. I forgot it was Watts Wednesday for your channel, but I just saw you pop up. I was in Guilty of Crime's live chat earlier for a little while, and she's awesome. Oh, by the way, Guilty of Crime Jay is going to be our featured guest on Friday. And imagine we're going to be talking about this case probably. Maybe another, I don't know. We're going to talk about it. We haven't talked about it yet. But yeah, I'm so excited to have her, and we'll definitely do it Friday. Jay, I won't. Something weird happened last time, and we won't keep you up until like 15 in the morning. And thank you so much. You're great. And if one of the moderators wants to post the link to her channel, you're certainly welcome to. But it was the hurt that made me break the SIM card, so I removed it. Yeah. Oh, hold it. I wanted to see what she said about Sweet Doodle. Peter. Yeah, I know that the Rusicks give him a great home now. Oh. Yeah, okay, can't find it. Okay, sorry. Anyway, but yeah, I know that the Rusicks give him a wonderful life. From Guilty of Crime to Watts, The Obsession. Oh, we should do that more often and then maybe like flip-flop it. That's kind of maybe a good idea. We need to talk about things. I've got 2 months off now, and I have all this energy, so things are going to get crazy around here, guys. Like super awesome crazy. Aw. Nilsa says, I still want to have the bunny show, like me show the bunny. I'm such a fan. He's blessing you, Kelly, for taking such good care of those baby bunnies. Oh, I know. I love them. Baby bunnies are like, they're such scared little things. Like every living thing wants to eat a bunny. They do, I promise you. Oh, and Guilty of Crime, by the way, I have one of my bunnies is called Reese's Pieces. I wasn't one of your animals Reese's Pieces, but his full name is Reese's Pieces Peanut Butter Cup. The man, Esquire. And then we have this whole like thing. My son and I just keep building on his name, but his name is Reese's Pieces Peanut Butter Cup. Oh, yeah. So, okay, let me bring one other thing into, oh, there it is. Cool. I just took myself down. There it is. Okay. So these are some of the things that we're going to talk about and focus on tomorrow. And it's individually, they're important, and collectively, they're important. So you see how in the middle, there's the numbers, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, 10th, 11th through the 16th of August. So the 7th through 16th of August. Maybe that wasn't the best font choice. I'll probably change it at some point, but hopefully you get the point, right? So you see the two dates that are in black right in the middle of the screen, right? So they are the dun 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 for a sticker on your shirt, the 8th and the 9th, okay? So the reason that they're black, and black having no meaning is no connotation here. Please don't read into it. It was just a color I could use and it showed up well. Is because during the entire duration of Chris Bob's and Nichol Kessinger's relationship, according to them, according to their timeline, rolling together for 6 weeks. And I believe that's true. I believe that's true. I think it's possible that they had some, adult indiscretions prior to that, but nothing like what was going on during those 6 weeks, right? But so during the whole 6 weeks that they were together, according to their timeline, we're just going with that right now, Shanann was home and alive for a total of just a little bit over 48 hours on the 8th and the 9th of August. And those dates in black, those just over 48 hours there, were so intolerable to Nichol Kessinger. She pulled out the big guns. She took, and we're going to walk all through it tomorrow, everything that Chris had said while he was in North Carolina and prior to, that she could spin in her own skanky, scandalous manipulation mind to meaning that he was giving her more than he was really intending to, and she could use that to make him feel guilty and uncomfortable. And like there was tension and contention in his life, because if there's one thing Chris Watts can't stand, oh my God, he does not like contention. He is not going to go to blows with you. I promise. And if he does, I guess he's going to kill you. Horrible, right? Like he won't do it. He can't stand it. He is completely has no tolerance for it, which I think is one of the reasons that he pled guilty and he didn't even fight for a chance to not have to sit in prison for the rest of his life, where he should be. But I mean, that's pretty extreme, right? And you know, the fact that Shanann was home for that little over 48 hours and the fallout from that is very significant, I think, in the motive, the timing, and the mere fact of the murders happening. So we see here that the Watts get home from Colorado. I'm sorry. Yeah, they fly home to Colorado from North Carolina on the 7th. And guys, we were talking about this recently. I was talking about this with a lot of people. I was not able to pinpoint for sure when Chris Watts deleted his Facebook page, but I did pinpoint it through contextual cluing, and it is absolutely positively the 8th that he deleted his Facebook account. There's no doubt that's when he did it. There's no other like mathematical possibilities when you consider all of the context clues you get from different people just mentioning it to one another through text or one activity on it or whatever the case may be. So they get home to Colorado on the 7th. He deletes his Facebook account the very next day. Also, on the very next day, the day after they get home from North Carolina, the same day that Chris Watts deletes his Facebook account, that's the day when Nichol Kessinger searches marrying your mistress. The pressure's not on, guys. And then Shanann's home on the 8th and the 9th. And oh my God, the burning hell that Nichol Kessinger was living in. And she made it even more so for Chris, you know, times I don't even know. So then Shanann leaves to go to Arizona for that Lavelle Thrive convention with her friends. Nicole Uthoff Atkinson picks her up at 4:30 in the morning of the 10th. Although the discovery does say that happens on both the 9th and the 10th, the discovery is wrong. Shanann, this isn't going to make a lot of sense right now without the whole context of the video you're going to see tomorrow. I also say Shanann, for the first time, mentions moving to any of her friends, selling the house and moving is what I mean. She sends actually Ann Meadows, a realtor, a Facebook message that day and mentions it to a few other people. Now, when Nichol Kessinger is going to tell us tomorrow through her interview and her skanky empanadas is different. And it's critical, but we'll go deeper into that tomorrow. Now, on the 11th, and this is what I was talking about earlier, that's the day of the Lazy Dog Cafe. Yeah, Lazy Dog Cafe. Date night. They went to one, then they went to a second. Now, let me tell you about that. And maybe you've heard it before, but if just sit back, have a cup of tea or something else, I don't know. It'll be brief. She says to the interviewers, to the investigators, that we went to the one Lazy Dog location and we were going to sit down. And Kobach's like, did they see you? She's like, well, kind of. And I mean, what I mean was they were wiping down the table and blah, 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 and all of these details that my stupid brain recalls like in with precision, except the ones that are incriminating to myself, obviously. But then I was looking at the menu and I was like, I'm not going to eat this shit. So, I mean, she's such a lady too. I mean, yes, you have heard me say some curse words too, but she's just like always a lady. She's always a lady to me, you know, totally. NK, ladylike. Hell yeah. And so they go to another lazy dog restaurant that is totally out of the way for them to go back to Nikki's house so they can do whatever double penetration that she was looking up that morning, how to prepare for it. And then, Chris can head on home. They only have a very limited amount of time together. The babysitter is only there for when, a total of like, well, it'll be 5 to 10, 4 hours. So really now, Molson Man, who is a moderator and really good friend, longtime friend of the channel, and he's super smart and awesome. And I, before we met up in Watts the Obsession World, Watts Island, well, no, we met here on this channel, had both done research. And I mean, research meaning, yes, looking at the websites of the restaurants and what they had to offer at the time, but also calling, getting, the testimony of people who work there, managers, what they had to say. At this point in the evolution of the Lazy Dog franchise, they just went from having a sole proprietorship types. I don't remember if it was a sole proprietorship or if they incorporated. I don't know how their business structure was, but it was just one kind of person or like maybe a couple that owned one. And then two, it's very small, right? Now they're branching out saying, wow, this can be a franchise. We have a great idea here for a franchise. And they probably do. I mean, if everything's done right. And so then, there were location owners, franchise owners. Now, and this is very common in a business structure like that, because the initial owner wants to keep like the spirit of the business that they envisioned and that they, they handed over to you when you bought that franchise location, and they want to make sure you keep up the quality and you're just as passionate as they are, and they can also oversee you a little bit because it is their franchise. You own one of the pieces now. Congratulations. Here's your monopoly money, right? So a lot of times in those business situations, and I was actually part of one of those business situations, but it was not a restaurant. It was a yoga studio. Went a long time ago. I had owned a yoga studio in Philadelphia for a while, but that's not the one that had that kind of structure. I bought, and I won't get to that, but I won't get into that. That was a long, crazy story of lots of yoga. Where at first, they'll say you're going to have the same decorations or like the same decor. We are going to purchase our food and beverages from the same distributors. You don't get to choose your distributor. Don't even bother shopping around. That's going to be a waste of time because the contract says you don't really have a choice because we know this distributor works for this business idea in this franchise. We're going to keep them, and we want you to, because we want you to be successful and we want to work together to grow this. So all of our individual pieces of ownership in this franchise are more successful, right? And then over time, the individual location owners can start to add more creative liberties to their own location as far as maybe decor, what distributors they use, what they put on their menu. The point is, guys, and this is for sure, at that time, all of the Lazy Dogs, and I feel like there were 3 total at that time. If anyone knows differently, you can, that's like way in the back of my head, but had the exact same menu, the same beer list, and other whatever, like, like spirits list or cocktail list or whatever. The only thing they did give the other location owners a little bit of like creative liberty and wiggle room, and maybe the possibility to create their own specials that would generate customers and business and revenue and reputation and all those good things the business like that wants. They were allowed to do they were allowed to have like happy hour specials. They were allowed to have a specialty drink, and I don't know if it was every day or just certain days. I just don't remember. And they were allowed to have like a specialty tapa. So on Watts Wednesday at the Lazy Dog, we have skanky empanadas, and taquitos, and then I don't know, some really awful beer. That's our special. Come to happy hour Watts Wednesday, just at this location, right? So a lot of talk about that, but I really want you to understand that we know that when Nichol, we know that they were, yes, at 2 Lazy Dog restaurants that night. And we know that Nichol Kessinger told investigators on more than one occasion and more than one investigator that the reason they went to the second location was because she said, looked at the menu, she said, I'm not going to eat that shit. Because, you know, macros, guys, macros and stuff, macros. And she doubled down on it. She tripled down on it. She quadrupled down on it. She was damn sure of it. But it couldn't have been the menu. So why lie about that? Unless there's something about the Lazy Dog, what did or didn't happen at the Lazy Dog, before or after the Lazy Dog, that she wants to hide that badly because it's that incriminating or criminal. So, you know, what is it? Right? Oh, guilty of crime like skanky. But I know. Let's go before the live stream on Friday. Let's go get some skanky empanadas. The Lazy Dog, guilty of crime. Hi, Veronica. Oh, but for Veronica, we say empanada because she likes it. Oh my gosh. Kevin says, let's all go to Lazy Dog, sit down, look at the menu, say, I'm not going to eat this shit. Get up and leave and go to a different Lazy Dog, right? And then just talk about macros and how, you know, the workout community. And, you know, when I started hitting it hard and my body. Oh my God, she's such a shallow, like, empanada. No, Karen G says, I wonder if they saw someone they didn't want to see and that's why they left. Maybe. But I mean, why won't you just say that unless, I don't know. I mean, why a lot of the lies seem silly. But that's the thing. A lot of the lies that Nichol Kessinger tells, or even like Chris Watts tells, he's a little more mysterious though, because we haven't heard him flap his gums nearly as much as Nichol Kessinger. And we won't because he is in a freedom restricted location, and hopefully she is or will be sometime, but because she should pay for the crimes that she's committed, because they're bad ones, both pertain to this case and the one she committed before this that she did not have any consequences for. Not that I'm like, you know, lay the hammer down, like, you know, you always got to word of the law, got to have those consequences. I don't believe that for everybody, but for people who have a pattern of breaking the law, but more importantly, breaking, you know, the you know, unspoken codes and agreements that we have with fellow human beings to not harm them, or, you know, to do things that are excessively selfish and ridiculous and just grave to harm their lives or take their lives, right? We have to keep those, you know, social agreements with each other, or else we live in like anarchy, and that's not good. Maybe not quite anarchy, but it would be bad. You know what's weird? No, I'm not going to go into. I was about to go on a major tangent. I'm going to save it though. Save the tangent, Kelly. Oh, I'm sorry. CB says chronically ill and have a flare up, but you're here at the live. I'm sorry, CB. I know when I get lupus flare ups, they're horrible. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that. But I said empanada right for you, Stevie. I was about to say Stevie, but I wasn't sure if I'd seen you yet. Karen G says, love it when you're here, Karen. Maybe because it would make her seem like she knew she was a mistress. When she kept saying, no, I thought they were finalizing the divorce, etc. So I removed it, even though we know that's also a lie. Oh, wait, I'm talking that way. Even though we know that's also a lie. Possibly, yeah, possibly. But then, you know, she didn't know if they were going to find her phone here. She was just learning. Oh boy. Yeah, chronically, I know chronic illness is horrible. I don't even like the phrase, but it like makes me anxious, but I know it is horrible. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. So then we have, all right, I'm going to focus. Watch me focus. Okay. So now on the 11th, that's interesting. Oh, I have a big red box with lots of words in it. Must be important in my opinion. Under the one in the middle, it says Lazy Dog date. Kessinger presents Watts with apartments that she's been researching for him, basically picked out for him, and is giving him all the reasons, sometimes, but through statements or sometimes through questions that she knows, what the questions are designed to leave an imprint on him, and a forceful imprint. She's this like conniving, coercive bitch. Skanky empanada. So, and I'm going to talk about that a lot more tomorrow. That has some of some of this is part of the reason for the legal review though before. So that's what I'm going to say right now. So on Saturday with 2 Ys, also on Saturday, it says 4 minutes after Chris Watts leaves her apartment, Nichol Kessinger searches for Shan Watts, Chris Watts, 2825 Saratoga Trail, and Ronnie Watts. After this timeline event, Nichol Kessinger disappears from the official Discovery timeline for 43 motherfucking hours. There is not a 43 hours on that thing where you're not going to find her name, I promise you. And there are the 43 most critical hours for sure. Wow. I just think that's significant. It is significant. So let's see. Katie says, OMFG, hold on. What if they saw someone from work? I know. Well, I remember having this conversation, maybe on another channel or something. I keep forgetting it's possible though. I bet that's what the 2 locations were. That's possible. That's totally possible. Yes, 43 motherfucking hours. I can't believe it. Nutgate tour. Veronica says today was what? Oh, today. Oh, like today. Well, oh my God, you're right. Oh my gosh, 6 years ago today. Oh, I wish I knew. I would have made a commemorative video. Well, I actually do have the video. If I can find it, I'll play it. Yeah, this is the day. 6 years ago today, guys, was a very special day. I'm going to tell you about it. It was when Nichol Kessinger, that skanky empanada, and Chris Watts, the motherfucking horrible human being beast he is, belongs in prison for the rest of his life, for sure. Hope he's getting lots of lucky. This was the day 6 years ago that they consummated their relationship, as far as we can tell. Today is the day when Shanann Watts got home, or maybe she got home last night, 6 years ago, from the Thrive trip that Chris was on to San Diego, where they saw Chris Watts' best friend from childhood, Mark. And then her father meets her in Denver so he can fly across country with her and the girls, because I'm sure Cece and Bella on a plane and their different personalities, it was a little bit scary. I think that's why that happened. And then that very next night, is it the same night she leaves? It's either the same night or it's hours afterwards. Chris Watts shows up at Nichol Kessinger's apartment door with 2 boxes of condoms. One was open and slightly used. Doesn't that sound disgusting? And one was new. And then Nichol Kessinger, of course, being the psychotic, jealous, borderline bitch she is, did research on the lifespan of a condom, basically. Like, if the manufacturing date is such, when were they purchased, kind of thing. And she did this whole, like she was on Wall Street financial analysis, but with numbers of manufacturing dates for fucking condoms to try to pin Chris Watts into a lie, saying that it's just so freaking weird. That was really observant of you, Veronica. You get definitely the Watts Obsession Award, not of the day, but of the month. That was very observant. I always love those memories of Nichol Kessinger and her condoms and her, oh my God. Hey, Liardy, how are you doing, sweetie? Great to see you. Liardy, everybody, welcome. Watts the Obsession Celebrity, Liardy. It's so funny, Liardy, when you were up here during the live stream, some people notice YouTube does these experimental things sometimes, as you guys may or may not know. And sometimes, there's been a couple times when I've noticed that my channel is involved in those experiments, or maybe just you as a user, if you have certain behaviors on YouTube, will see things that are part of the experiment to see, is this something that YouTube wants to start doing? Do we like it? You know, is it going to help YouTube? Is it going to help us interact? Is it going to help us all get what we want out of our YouTube experience? And it was doing these AI live chat, like summary captions and summaries. And the one that, you know, like a lot of us saw was the only one. It happened to be when you were up on panel. And it was like, it's a TV show with a woman from New York and a woman from Boston. People in the chat are commenting on their accents, and just like something that was so like not what we were talking about whatsoever, but it was funny. I'll have to send it to you. Anyway, I digress. But she didn't. Right. What a great point. Like, seriously. And these are the great points that y'all make, you know, it from time to time. When I look at it, I'm like, oh, you know what? Those smart kids I got out there. But it's all of these observations where it's like, my God, it almost makes you think like all this time spent looking at this case and researching it is kind of like we're freaking ridiculous because it's so obvious, right? Let's see. Miranda says she did all that work to find out the dates of condoms, but she said she didn't know about his wife. Seriously. Oh, God. That's a great point. Why would you bring old condoms? So gross. That is kind of like tacky, or like, you know, that's like not in good form for sure. Hi, Katie. All day. How are you doing? Says, welcome. I'm new here. Hi, guys. I'm not new. I just never spoke out in a live before. Oh, well, I'm glad you're speaking out. Awesome. It's great to actually see you, Katie. Welcome. Yeah. Neither have I. Stevie says, I've never researched a condom manufacturer date in my life. I guess when you live with chronic illness, you realize how unimportant that is, you know, unless you're actually, you know, the whole purpose is making sure that they're still effective birth control, but, or something like that. Oh my gosh. Is it Giselle? Am I saying that right? Hunter says, wasn't that when they had a beep beep with Jim? Possibly. I mean, that morning it says on the Discovery that, well, do you want to know? You probably know. Let me see if I can find it super quick, because I don't want to spend too much time on Nichol Kessinger's skankiness. I mean, we already know. We know, Nicole. We know you're a skank. Empanada. That wasn't on the Discovery. Oh no, it was on the Discovery timeline. Never mind. This was a good one. See, this Google search was on the Discovery timeline, but the 111-minute phone conversation wasn't. Her ping certainly wasn't. You know, some other critical things, and we still have a couple others to go through. And then I'm going to play you some little parts of the little previews of the premiere that'll be going on tomorrow. Oh, here we go. Shanann's all like saying to Chris, have you talked to Bella about having a boy? And she's all, you know, oh, I can't believe we're having a little boy. Meanwhile, back at the Skanky Ranch, it says at 9:30 a.m. in participation for evening with Watts, Kessinger spent 45 minutes searching Google on topics like how to prepare for anal sex, the anal sex guide. This progressed into searches at Pornhub for interracial porn videos and threesomes with double penetration. And then his comment is, this was by no means the only time she sought out pornographic videos via the internet. I'm going to let you think about that for a moment. Oh my goodness. Crazy. And then let's see, on that day, I think let's see if there's any other mentions for on that day until her search after Lazy Dog. Oh, poor Shanann. She's like looking, yeah, she's figuring it all out. We're reading it in time, the timeline of it. Poor Shanann. Oh, goodness. Oh, wait, hold it. I think that something she's just give me 1 second here. Hmm. It's one of these like conversations she has with Addie that allowed me to pinpoint. It's part of the pinpointing of he deleted his Facebook on August 8th. And that is important. And again, I'll be talking about it more tomorrow. I'm sure maybe you've talked about it or thought about it or heard people talk about it before. I think there's a number of reasons why you could think that's significant, but you got to pinpoint the really important ones that, connect to other significant events that show us why and how and by who these horrible things happened. Okay. I wasn't even showing you that. I didn't share it. Okay. Sorry. Well, you didn't need to see that. My reading it was enough, I'm sure. All right. So then back to the timeline. On the 12th, another important thing that happens that is not mentioned in the Discovery timeline is get this. And this is going to be discussed a whole lot in the preview we're all going to watch tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here in advance. Her friend Charlotte. Man, if I could have a friend like that, I don't want any friends. Charlotte's dad died on the day when, Kessinger is freaking out about, I don't want anybody to know it was me. The media is going to be contacting you, blah, 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 blah. And you probably, maybe you've heard her talk about this before during that interview, but I just pulled out the things you really have to hear tomorrow. Because when you're listening to like a 3-hour interview, sometimes, I don't know, even people that are as focused as I am, obviously, your mind can start to wander. And she is, I mean, it's beyond selfish. She is absolutely, positively, there's something like it's narcissism or it's definitely sociopathy of, I don't know. It's really weird. All I give a shit about is myself and absolutely no one else, which makes it impossible for me to believe that any of the times she told investigators that anything that she did was out of any semblance of care or concern for Shanann, her unborn baby, Cece, or Bella. I call the biggest bullshit. You can double penetrate on that because she does not have it in her. She had no compassion for her best friend in the world. She says, she's my whole world. Her best friend's dad just died, and she was broken about it. And, in Charlotte's like, why can't you just be there for me? Why can't you go? I understand this happened. I understand that happened. Why can't you just please go to my dad's funeral? My dad just died. You're my best friend. Why can't you fucking go to your best friend's dad's funeral? What's wrong with her? You weren't murdered. Freaking show up. It is, my God. And you can tell by the way she's talking, she had a relationship with a man, and then Nichol Kessinger ends that part of the conversation about it by saying, something to the effect of like, you know what, Charlotte, you being all mad at me and mean to me right now isn't going to bring your dad back. And she says it just like that. Like, this is so much to me. But anyway, oh, poor Charlotte. It was on the 12th of August. Now, guys, I didn't realize this until recently. Like, yes, I've read that date and I've read the text messages between Charlotte and Kessinger and all that. But it's like there's so much information in that discovery file, reading it and then processing it and reflecting on it for a moment and going, oh my God, or, there's so many levels. The first and only time Nichol Kessinger shared anything about Watts, and what she shared was pretty detail oriented, we'll say, was on August 12th, the same day of the 111-minute phone call and the same day that made those correspondences just mere hours before Shanann, Bella, and Cece were murdered. Interesting, right? But that's not in the official Discovery timeline either. In fact, when Kevin Koberger, being the diligent, talk about detail-oriented, effective and, just very good at his job person he is, none of those things are true. You see, I'm doing that a lot today. You see what I'm doing there? Being all those great things that he is. I don't even remember what I was going to say. Oh, he makes some mistakes in his summarization of, some of the most important statements or testimonies or interviews that are had in this whole case. So, we do have to be honest about that. The man's not perfect. Clearly, he's almost perfect, but he's not perfect. He records the date that Kessinger and Charlotte were texting as being August 7th, 2018. But it's not, because the much more astute Stacey Galbraith does more with investigating these interactions between Kessinger and Charlotte Nelson and what they may mean and what they may be hiding, because just like Nichol Kessinger, Charlotte erased anything on her phone that investigators might want to look at. Stacey Galbraith gets it right, and she mentions the date several times. Nichol Kessinger also mentions the date herself kind of by accident and sort of tries to swallow it, the words, in that last interview as well. So it's just so freaking weird that she didn't mention Chris Watts to her very best friend until hours before the family was murdered. Oh, and by the way, it is said that, and I don't know this for certain. I don't know how you could prove it for certain, because this would be a thought process going on in the mind of Chris Watts. What a terrible place to be. Don't want to go hang out there too long. That the reason Chris Watts deleted his Facebook account, other than the fact that you could tell he wasn't really into it, was kind of resentful of the whole Facebook Thrive social media thing. He was growing resentful of it, and having the feeling of resentfulness or contempt. If you have those feelings in your life about, things out, anything, you try to work through that shit, because they are super destructive. They like carrying around those feelings makes you less of a human being. It's just they're really bad. This is something that's been really well studied. As a behavioral therapist, I tell you, if you have feelings of contempt or disgust or resentment towards anyone, you really should, for yourself, take the time to work through that. And if anyone would like some resources on that, I'd be happy to provide some to y'all. Lost my train of thought. Oh, right. It said that the reason that he deleted the Facebook account was because it was that coming weekend. And this makes sense to me, because we know that Nichol Kessinger's friend Danielle Hadel was in town and stayed with her Friday night. And then, the next night was Lazy Dog night. Was she still there Saturday night? We don't know. But, leave Danielle alone too, obviously. So Nichol Kessinger's friends were going to be around. She was maybe going to see Chris. She was going to start to bring them all together into one skanky empanada world. Skanky everywhere. And also, she says that Chris Watts told her while they were in North Carolina that he and Shanann filed for divorce papers. And even while they were still in North Carolina, Shanann was on the hunt looking for new houses and excited about it, which is not true. So he couldn't have a Facebook account because people were going to be meeting him. Nicole's friends were going to be meeting him. And it doesn't get any more important than that. They were going to know his name. They were going to know his face. They were going to, like Nichol, probably stalk people on Facebook. And he didn't want them to then see that he had a wife, and especially see that she was pregnant. What do you guys think about that? I don't know about that. But oh, you guys are funny. Yeah, lack of empathy. Absolutely. She is a real witch, Adam. She is. She really is. Yeah, Veronica added to my list of possibilities that could, capture the lacking in empathy, lacking in, like sense of like human connection and warmth towards others, unless others are presenting you with something that could benefit and lift yourself in a superficial way. She says psychopath, sociopath, pathological liar, bipolar, etc. I would like to add borderline, because I do not try to pretend that I am diagnosing Nichol Kessinger, because I've never met her, I've not analyzed her or anything like that. And to do so on a YouTube channel without any of those things would be really unprofessional. But just because I do read words and I know what things mean sometimes, when I read the description for borderline personality disorder, I kind of really, I think NK, I do. But I don't know. Okay, Stevie, take care of yourself. So then we have the 111-minute phone call that's also on the 12th. And that's not in the discovery timeline, of course. And then, we have the, on the 14th is when Kessinger deletes all traces of Watts from her phone. So this is a foundation for big discussions. All right. Now, we're just going to take a little preview of just maybe like the first 10 minutes of the premiere that we're all going to be at tomorrow at 9 p.m. Yeah. I love premieres because, I like doing live streams too, but I used to hate them. I used to absolutely fucking hate live streams. No offense, everybody, but I didn't feel like confident at all in them. People are always mean. And like, I don't know. I was like, I don't think that's my platform. I just want to be able to upload my videos, and, I don't want to like be out there like, like what do you do in a live stream? But in a premiere, you're all watching the same thing together at the same time. And while, the creator or panelist or anything, you don't have to present anything, get on camera, get on mic or whatever. You can communicate, you can participate with the chat, and, people have questions, you can explain them right there, then and there. I think it's a really good way to handle like a kind of in-depth, a video, so people do get the most out of it, get the most understanding out of it. And that's what I really want for you guys with this, because I just so strongly believe that there is not complete justice for the victims or their families, whether that's what they're feeling or not, or, just humanity that needs to see justice upheld in cases that we feel so shaken by and that are just so monumental, important. It's not okay that that's just lingering there unattended and, labeled with all of these other things that describe anything but what it is. A horrible crime that had more than one person involved on a criminal level. That statement cannot be disputed. In the words of herself and investigators that are willing to not be assholes or, self-righteous, egomaniacal bastards, district attorney, that is what is. It is what it is. What I am is what I am. So yeah. Okay. And that's a feeling that we do not like to have, especially when, we just have the sentiments about the people in this case that we do for all the reasons that we've already discussed. Or if you're new and you haven't had that discussion, I'm going to let you chew on that. Come back at us with your concluding thoughts or your evolving thoughts in the morning. All right. Okay. All right, listen carefully. And by the way, this doesn't get into this is well, I don't know. I mean, it's building up. It is what it is, okay? So this is just going to be like 12 minutes and the video is just shy of 2 hours, so.
Am I in trouble because I related to sex?
You're not in trouble. Is it criminal? No.
Well, in Colorado, destruction of evidence is a felony.
Is there concern that you're hiding something? Potentially.
I'm worried.
about these white kids. They're so little. And she's pregnant. No one is like, where's their mom?
Say hi. Say hi. Cece likes the camera. Say hi, Cece.
She loves the camera.
Say hi. Hi. She loves the camera. I don't know if you guys saw her. And then there's Bella. Say hi. We got to get her dressed. We have a team meeting here in, I don't know what time it is, in like 45 minutes.
Go in the ocean. I mean,
Ready, set? Ready, set?
I was in a really, really, really bad place. And I got a friend request from Chris on Facebook. And I was like, oh, what the heck? I'm never going to meet him. Except.
I'm having a wonderful time. You mean a lot to me. And I'm glad that you're having a blast. I am so out of breath.
He's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Nichol Kessinger turned out to have information that I can best describe as being a bombshell.
It's hot.
Where is he? Where's Chris?
But not many. It's pretty short. There's like 10 or 12, and there's like a few from those days, but most of it is. Hi. Hello.
Nikki. This is
Yeah.
Tammy.
Tammy.
Come in,
Nice to
Stacy.
meet you. Yeah, I'm Stacy Galbraith. Nice to meet you. How are you doing? All right. Getting through it? Trying. Yeah. Did you get some therapy figured out? I'm waiting for you guys to get back to me on that, but I'm trying.
So Weld County's just, I had to write a letter yesterday for Weld County to approve, to pay for her treatment.
Oh.
And then it's got to go through a board because it's kind of unusual.
Yeah.
Since she's not an eyewitness.
Right.
But it sounded like there was not going to be any opposition to it. It's just a process.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you go through the text messages, Tammy and probably Stacy will be there.
Okay.
So you guys know each other. Okay. Or if they reach out to you, you know that they're not the media.
Yeah. Can you guys give me your cards?
Yeah.
I can grab you one. Okay. I just,
Thank
now
you.
with this new phone, it's like,
I just want to say really quickly, seriously was just saying, yeah, if you don't get notifications, you can unsubscribe and then please subscribe right away again, because I want you to be here. We all want you to be here. But I didn't do it today because this was really last minute. If you read my community post, a lot of things changed with the premiere because I'm just having it reviewed legally just to make sure there's nothing, that everybody's just being respected and things are going the way that they should. Don't need real life drama. So I didn't send out an email tonight, but usually when I have a live stream, either the day before or the morning of, or even an hour before, I'll send out an email. It's the only time I use that email. I will not freaking spam you with dirty empanadas or anything like that. Never. So if you do want to get on that email list, you can email me at, somebody put my email in chat, wattsobsession@gmail.com. And in the subject line, it would be best if you just put email list or something in capital letters. Because the email for this channel is a little out of control right now, but I want to be able to add you to the list. Okay. I know that stinks. I hate it when that happens.
I got so many numbers that
Kevin Kovac acknowledges there that Nichol Kessinger's status as a witness is a little unusual, he says, because she's not an eyewitness. What is more unusual is her status as a protected witness, and her status as a protected witness that was granted by the FBI starting on the first day that she spoke with them. And here is what District Attorney Rourke had to say about Nichol Kessinger first speaking with the authorities. And then I'm going to tell you how it really went down.
The intense media coverage leads to an unexpected tip.
Law enforcement got a phone call from a woman named Nichol Kessinger. She said that she had information and was offering to be interviewed as part of this investigation to offer up to investigators what she knew.
As you're going to see later on in this video, when we look at some of Nichol Kessinger's mind-blowing statements from her final interview with law enforcement on August 26, 2018, Nichol Kessinger tends to not really care about anyone else, not a goddamn person in the world other than herself. So I don't believe that Nichol Kessinger started singing like a bird out of the kindness of her heart, wanting to help justice, or because she cared about what happened to Shanann, certainly not, or Bella, or Celeste. So why is it Nichol Kessinger ended up speaking to law enforcement, to the FBI on that first day, on the 15th, 2 days after the murder, on that very same day that she was declared by the FBI a protected witness? Why did she talk to them?
Check this out from the Discovery. It should be noted that approximately 3 hours before the polygraph was scheduled to begin at 8 a.m., I received a phone call from Anadarko Regional Security Manager Tony Husky. Husky advised me he had reviewed Chris's computer and it was possible Chris had started up a relationship with an Anadarko contracted employee. He had located emails between Chris and the contracted employee, Nichol or Nikki Kessinger. So we know that law enforcement knew about.
Spoiler alert, there is no bombshell information. It's just bullshit.
The affair at 5 a.m. on August 15th, 3 hours before the polygraph exam was about to start. And it was not until a couple hours later that Nichol Kessinger called law enforcement.
If Anadarko is like any other corporation in America, then if something like this were to happen and they were to be implicating their employee in doing anything wrong, whether it be from an affair or having something to do with such an egregious crime, they would need to let that employee know immediately. So was it the fact that Tony Husky caught on to the affair between Chris Watts and Nichol Kessinger via the emails that he located that triggered Anadarko to contact Nichol Kessinger about it, that triggered Nichol Kessinger to finally go to law enforcement? I think that is more likely the case than Nichol going to law enforcement on her own volition because she has a strong conscience. Let's take a listen and go a little further.
What did that cause you to do with your phone, though?
Oh, what? When I deleted those? I was just kind of grossed out by him, to be honest with you. I was just like, I don't know what's going on right now, but you just lied to me, and I don't want to see this come over my phone anymore. So I removed it.
So you already said, but you removed text messages?
I deleted all of his stuff because he lied to me. I mean, that's what it was. It was the hurt that made me delete it. And then it was the lie that made me start questioning everything else he'd been telling me for the last few days.
And that's when you decided to come forward?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, if you've heard all of these lies that Nichol Kessinger has told before, don't you worry, because we're just getting warmed up.
I am so out of breath.
Before we get into the stunning admissions and statements that she made in her fifth and final interview with law enforcement on August 28th, 2018, let's just briefly recall the basis of what she said to the FBI on that very first day when she met with them, the first of her 5 interviews. Remember, it was on that very same day, on August 15th, before the first of her 5 interviews ended, that the FBI decided that Nichol Kessinger will be a protected witness.
I met Chris.
Oh shoot, dude. I had something to say and I forgot it. I'm really tired. Okay, I forgot.
At work, and we kind of talked in passing and then started to get to know each other. We started hanging out pretty frequently around, I want to say like the last week of June, somewhere around there. He informed me that he did have 2 kids, and he also told me that he was currently in the process of a separation from his wife. As far as I knew, that was becoming pretty finalized.
Now, one of the fundamental problems is that when Nichol Kessinger started dating Chris Watts, divorce was not on the horizon whatsoever for Shanann and Chris. Nobody was planning it. It had not been discussed, but divorce was not going to be in their future at all. I think even when Chris Watts started dating Nichol Kessinger, divorce was not in his future with his marriage to his wife, Shanann. Well, we know at least that is true because in the only email correspondence between Chris Watts and Nichol Kessinger, which all happened on June 12th, 2018, Nichol Kessinger says this to Chris Watts.
I'm looking for someone to build a beautiful life with. Seems so simple, but so unrealistic sometimes. Build something similar to what you have done with your wife and those cute little girls. I do believe in karma, so out of respect for myself, you, and your family, I think it's best if we keep that friendship at work.
It's only at a certain point during that relationship, 6 weeks as they tell it, did the idea of divorce become a reality. That fundamental lie that Nichol Kessinger told law enforcement from right off the bat is a lie that she had to contend with throughout all of the 5 hours upon hours of interviews with law enforcement all throughout. And I hope she's still contending with it today in her conscience. After all, as I know that y'all know, this was an absolutely horrific, egregious, unthinkable case that deserved the most earnest, hardworking investigation and investigators, and nothing but the truth from anybody who could provide a truth that might allow investigators, the families of the victims, and the world to better understand this heinous crime.
My name is Michael J. Rourke. I'm the district attorney here in Weld County, Colorado. I was the lead prosecutor on the Christopher Watts case.
And if you truly want complete justice for the victims of this case, then right here, my friend, is one of our biggest problems. And although District Attorney Rourke might not lie as much as Nichol Kessinger as it relates to this case, in fact, he certainly doesn't. I mean, she's got the record hands down on that. He does tell lies to the public, to the people that he's supposed to be serving, and the people around the world who are terrorized by this case. And Nichol Kessinger's butt. Okay. So, yes, so that's all. It's just like the little, like, kind of like introduction to let's get all up to speed on that. So, and then the next thing I go into is one of the key things that we want to just have a legal review done on. So, yeah. Whoops. Holy shit. Did I just lose you guys? No, you're there. You're there. There. You are there. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry. I'm reading your comments in my head, but not out loud. Just in my mind. Yeah, what was the bombshell info? There was no bombshell info. Now, the thing is, District Attorney Rourke did such a disservice to everybody and so much disrespect to his job, his career, the office that he held and unfortunately still holds as district attorney by saying, NK, I can best describe what she had to say as being bombshell information. What the fuck was the bombshell? There was no bombshell. What? Chris is dating a skanky fucking empanada and who's like has a really screwed up personality and like things are going very badly because this is not good chemistry. And then also, there's some criminal factors on top of it and things go catastrophic. That's why there need to be consequences for those criminal factors that you factor in if you do things like what Nichol Kessinger does and just factors in criminal shit sometimes and finds a way to wiggle or finds a way to slime her way out of it, or her dad does, or something like that. It's not good for anything. It's just not good in general in society it's just not good. It's not good for the morale of humanity. But, here it's just so devastating for the victims who lost their lives. I mean, geez. Bonnie, the bombshell information was unicorn Lucky Charms. And I found a box of unicorn Lucky Charms. Jesus, she's awful. Oh my goodness. All right, hold on. I've got to look at my little video editor here thing. I can't play you anything from it because it will make my computer like very, very, very unhappy, but I can cross-reference it with, just 1 second. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing. Just give me a moment.
I don't even know.
Lily, what are you doing?
Why? Because it's
But if you go to another state,
You know, part of me, I just.
so I know.
What? What's up, Lily?
Does that cause question?
Of course. And then he sent me another text.
Ugh.
And then I deleted that one too.
Sorry, guys.
Thankful for that. Yeah.
Just want to find something for you.
Yeah. He's not going anywhere.
He's not gonna hurt you.
Okay, yeah, there's one. Okay, what time is this? 1:25. All right, hold on. I just gotta go pull up this interview on YouTube. 1:25. Good Lord. I have like 5,000 windows open. No wonder my computer's angry at me. Let's see here. Do I have this video uploaded on my channel? I don't know if I do. Okay. Okay. Well, this is not the second interview crime talk, but this was back. I know this was in the early Watts days. We forgive you. Is that okay? Sorry, I just got to find this whole. Oh, wait, I think I'm going to. Oh, watch the crime talk one. I just saw Jim somewhere. True crime, what weird. Huh. Hi, Lily, what are you doing? My bunny's like going crazy. For those of you who have never seen Jim Gutowski, they just have that on their thumbnail here. It's a picture that's, you know, been around with him. I'll forget it. You don't hold it. I'll show you afterwards, or I can't sidetrack right now. I'm too tired. It's gonna be catastrophic. Cannot sidetrack self. No. What? Okay. Okay. What? That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, I'm going to read you the stream and stop talking to myself and start talking to you or something. Oh, yeah, I saw a couple of you commenting like how different and weird she was, how she behaves so differently with the women, females, especially those female investigators. Yeah, absolutely. Big time. And Veronica, you said a couple of things I thought were important that I was like caught and was thinking about, but I can't remember what they were now. Are you StreamYard? The fuck? Did I lose you guys? No, did I? I think I did. Oh no, I didn't. Hi everybody. I'm not lost anymore. I found you. Oh boy. Right on 125. Are you still here, Lee RD? This is for you, baby. Lee RD, if you are in the other room, I will give you 30 seconds to get your ass back to your computer and or phone or TV or whatever you're watching this on. Whoa, hi, Lily.
It's really not that difficult. There's just paperwork.
Yeah, and some of you were saying, I don't know what you're talking about. You're like, she don't want to pay a lawyer, so she's just going to, she's like using law enforcement as like her personal servants, you know, like personal assistant, like legal liaison. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
And doing all that stuff. But stop thinking about this for a while. I think we've got everything. I don't think you can remember anything more. We've had a lot of conversations about this case. So just give yourself a break. Go have dinner with one of your friends and nobody knows who you are.
Not yet.
So even better to make that happen. Whoever you trust in, like Charlotte or whoever your other friends are, go have a normal night and not sit at your house and dwell on this. It might do you wonders, okay?
Are they gonna post anything if they don't find out anything? Because I'm just surprised they haven't.
About what?
About me.
About me, of
I
course.
mean, it's been 4 days.
You know that they are dying to find out who you are.
I know. They haven't even reached my inner circle yet. It's been 4 days.
You got good friends.
Yes, I do.
So be thankful for that. And we've had this conversation. Is it, you said you're thinking about going somewhere else? Go.
I don't know when I'm gonna do that. Can you guys help me with the name change? Can you do that? I'm serious, please.
Can you guys help me with a name change? Can you do that? I'm serious. Can you help me, please? And then look at her body language when he says no. I can't stand this woman. Ugh. Oh man, I zoomed for you and stuff in my, we'll see tomorrow.
So I can't do anything for you. If that's a legal process, it's really not that difficult. There's just paperwork that needs to be filled out.
Look at her, pouting little
Your best bet would
fucking
just be
brat.
to call and maybe ask an attorney to help you with that.
Yeah, ask an
or
attorney.
seek
Seriously,
advice.
we have to just listen to this again. This is just. There are some, that from this interview that I put into the video that I made, there are just, this is, there's little moments like this that are just, they say everything about this person, and collectively, you've got her number. Everything that we've been saying, I don't know, yeah. Okay.
Go have a normal night and not sit at your house and.
About me.
About me.
I mean, it's been 4 days.
You know that they are dying to find out who you are.
I know.
I know. Wouldn't you be?
Who you are.
I know. They haven't even reached my inner circle yet. It's been 4 days.
You got good friends.
Yes, I do.
So be thankful for that. And we've had this conversation. Is it, you said you're thinking about going somewhere else? Go.
I don't know when I'm gonna do that. Can you guys help me with the name change? Can you do that? I'm serious, please.
So I can't do anything for you. If that's a legal process, it's really not that difficult. There's just paperwork that needs to be filled out. I think your best bet would just be to call and maybe ask an attorney to help you with that, or seek advice from, I don't even know who you call. Honestly, but people change their name all the time when they get married.
Yeah.
So it's probably the county clerk, but I think it would have to be at a state level to make a name change. But I don't know specifically how to do that. I don't.
Does that become public? Because that would defeat the purpose.
I don't know. I know it can be done. I just don't know how to do it, and I wouldn't even know who to reach out. I mean, I could find out and let you know, but I don't know how to do it. The witness protection thing is very, very rare.
I'm not expecting that.
Yes.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not going to hurt you, all those things. So.
No, I'm not expecting that. I don't even know. Sometimes I'm I just want to do it now, and I'm why? Because if
you go to another state,
I feel like it would defeat the purpose. A part of me, I keep getting really scared that it's going to be really hard to find good employment for a really long time, years and years and years of my life. I feel like people aren't going to want to hire
If you go to another state, this is not headlines in that state.
Kevin Kovac, you're wrong about basically everything, and definitely that one. Okay.
And if I.
Yuck. Guys, she's so gross. She is such a terrible, terrible human being. She is a horrible human being. She's like rotten. Upsetting. What do you think of that, Lee RD? He's like, the witness protection thing, that's pretty rare. And actually, her pouting though, wow. Ugh.
Said, look, man, I know you work at he did too. I know he murdered his wife.
All right. Let's just, I want to get you guys all pissed off before you try to relax and go to bed. Or, well, for some of you in Australia and whatnot, it's not that time of day, is it? let's hear.
Okay. She was here. Hold on. She said, look, man, I know you worked at Anadarko. He did too. I know he murdered his wife and kids. I know he was a dog. I know you're my best friend. I know you have a good heart. I know that that guy needs to go to jail and he will. I know you don't want publicity and neither would I. I know.
Oh, sorry.
Witness, if you say
I'm playing it in my. I'm sorry. I'm playing it in my. I'm really tired. I probably should listen. I'm playing it in my editor, not here. Sorry about that.
Tired of typing tons of.
No, but I'm tired of why. Do I have like YouTube Premium? Are people getting premium getting ads? I've been getting ads for a few days.
Download that too.
The payment not going to for a reason. It shouldn't have. I don't know. I'll look into it. If anyone else has had that experience, please do let me know.
investigation. I'm not going to ask you a single question. 720-425-7.
Let's go back a little.
But you're not talking about children or your relationship with Chris or anything like that.
So this is when she's talking about, especially all this stuff with Charlotte. Kevin Kobach is finally like just sick of it all. I'm sure he's got a massive migraine over this bitch, and she like keeps like trying to bring it back. He's like, okay, so you're not talking about the kids. So he's like, she'll say something. He's like, I don't care about that, or I don't need to hear about that. It's like finally a little bit too late though. But when he says, when she says, am I going to get in trouble for deleting his, stuff? And she says, well, it's not a crime. Wrong. Yeah, totally is a crime. Agent Kobach.
No, the only time I ever mentioned him was like that one day. Okay. And I didn't even think it's even processing. I mean, you can just tell by the way that she like talks. I'm gonna tell her, and it's like right before I had to be there. And she
Okay, here. This is gonna be
Using you a little bit.
Parkinson's.
Oh.
So kind of come see her on Saturday.
So now you're just talking about shoes and
other stuff.
Okay.
But then she brought it up again last night, but she didn't
brought up what?
But she didn't like connect the dots. She was like freaking out, like her dad just died. And she was really upset. She wanted me to come see her on Saturday because it's his wedding.
So unexpected.
Kind of, sort of. He had Parkinson's, so kind of, but not. You know what I'm saying? It was a very drawn out thing. But she's having a really hard time with it. I knew she would, and she's like, can you make the wake on Saturday? And I was like, I'm really hesitant to leave the house. And I didn't tell her that, but I was like, I don't know. I'll try. And I'm going to go, but I'm not going to tell her until it's like right before I have to be there. And
So what is she reference of? Just is Chris the guy? I'm more interested.
No, she didn't even ask me if she was just like, she's like, I don't know what's going on. She's like, you can see it.
So you mentioned on your text before you were coming that there was other information that you thought of that was important again?
Yeah.
More info?
You're letting me get so sidetracked.
I'll look at this.
It's horrible.
And then
horrible.
Yeah, show
so
me.
much in here. Like I'll just say.
You guys talk a lot.
Oh yeah. She is like right here. So first she sends me this, and she's not even asking me about him. She's saying he looks like her ex. That's when she first brings him up. She doesn't even mention me at that point.
She didn't even mention me.
I don't even think she realizes it's the same guy. Like legitimately. I think this girl is so wrapped up in all the stuff that she's got going on right now that I don't think it's even processing. I mean, you can just tell by the way that she like talks. See, she's all upset because I asked her to
not talk to the media, and it happened to be the day that her dad died, and I'm sitting here trying to comfort her.
Is this your best friend?
She's an asshole.
Yes. This girl is like my whole world.
All right. But you're not talking about children or your relationship with Chris or anything like that?
No, the only time I ever mentioned him was like that one day.
Okay.
And I didn't even remember that I even had like said that to her.
That one day, the day before the family was murdered.
720-425-7330.
So I'm not going to call her, but at some point, you might want to talk to her, just so you know. I mean, sooner or later, she's going to connect the dots, or you're going to tell her, right, if she's your best friend.
I'm not going to tell her. If she figures it out, she figures it out.
Okay. If we were going to talk to her, I'd let you know beforehand. Is that fair?
Yeah, just so I can give her a heads up.
Yep.
And she apologized to me, like, 'cause she was being kind of crazy.
Oh my God.
She was.
So tell me about the new info
She goes, she apologized to me because she was being a little crazy. Listen to this.
that you remembered.
Okay. See right here. Hold on.
Listen to this.
She says, look, man, I know you work at Anadarko. He did too. I know he murdered his wife and kids. I know he was a dog. I know you're my best friend. I know you have a good heart. I know that that guy needs to go to jail, and he will. I know you don't want publicity, and neither would I. I know that as a witness, if you say anything, it can cause a mistrial. I know you don't want that, neither do I. Fuck the media. I want my best friend here. I never fucking said anything to her about a trial.
Okay.
So,
but
she goes, I don't even care if you flirted with him or more. I know you had nothing to do with what happened, and I don't care if your job is having an open investigation. I'm not going to ask you a single question, but my pops died and you're my best friend.
Okay.
I said, please stop talking about that. And she said, what do you want, house arrest? And she just keeps saying, my father died, what the fuck? She was not okay last night, and I was just trying to, like,
understandable,
mitigate this. And I was like trying to calm her down. And I said, Charlotte, I'm trying so hard to be the best friend I can to you right now. I said, I want to talk to you about that case. I didn't say the case. I said that case. Like, I wasn't even affiliated with it at all. And you need to respect that. I'm here for you regarding your dad. You know this. And then she's freaking out and freaking out.
You guys never had a conversation except for this past text messages about Chris and his children.
No, that was it.
Okay.
That was it.
That's fine.
I mean, because he wasn't really something that I like super wanted everybody to know about, and I shouldn't have even mentioned it when she brought up what she had like going on sexually with her. She apologized to me this morning for being drunk and sad and angry after Dad died.
She apologized to me this morning for being drunk and sad and angry that her dad died. Dude, what the fuck? What do you guys think about that? I mean, just, you know, I mean, the person that she is so very clear. Yeah, all I hear is me, me, me. Oh, it's so disgusting. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to. And hi, Jeannie, how are you doing? She says, here's my phone, but I'm not going to tell you everything about it. Why tell all the info? It's not like a big deal, you know. And she, and the reason, and is you like, God, the whole reason she's sitting here for hours and hours and hours, she's decided that the phone that she had, they're doing the extraction on it, but she wants to use this other phone anyway, this old phone, because she prefers this phone. She doesn't really like iPhones anyway. So she doesn't even want the phone that they have back. She's sitting there for hours and hours and hours because it's irritating her that on this new phone, because it's like a Samsung, I don't know, it's like not a freaking iPhone. So she can't like get her contacts to show up. And I have like a lot of contacts, and like I really need some of those contacts. And you know, and this tech guy comes in, he's like, well, there's another way. There's another way. There's a fourth way we can try. There's a fifth way we can try. Eventually we'll get, and this is all. So, oh, by the way, guys, Shanann, Cece, and Bella were murdered, but this is all about them, you know, having to take her phone because she destroyed evidence in a quadruple homicide case that she has criminal responsibility in, but she's sitting there like a little fucking skanky empanada princess on wheels, making them, like install apps for fancy fonts on her phone. It's really just truly disgusting. So gross. Ugh. Okay, I'm going to get down to the current comments. Let's see. Premium, no ads there. So maybe the payment to go through for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. I'll check that later. Thank you though. Lee says, I never have respect for a woman seducing a married man. No, that's just trash. Love you too, Valerie girl. Nice to see ya. She's obsessed with being free, in my opinion, mentally and physically. She'd be looking after her mental health big time. I don't know if I understand that last part. Maybe that was in response to something. Sometimes I think I can get in and be one of you guys in the chat, but then, because I'm really not, because, I can't talk and read at the same time. I'm like, oh man, I really don't know anything that's going on here. Oh, that's right, Jeannie Ramsey. This is the place to be and still the story to be told. That is right. And Jeannie, I would love if Kathleen did another book on this case. Maybe you can try to plant the seed. Well, I'm sure the seed is there. Maybe you can pour some sunshine and sprinkle some water on it. What do I think her diagnosis is? Well, I would never even consider trying to dive into the realm of mental health diagnoses, because that would be right? But I was saying earlier, if I'm reading and I happen to come across the words borderline personality disorder, and then I read the following definition, I often will think of Nichol Kessinger. And I mean, I'm sure, this would be like a pretty, this would be not complex. Well, I mean, all the evaluations are a little bit complex, but this would be an in-depth evaluation, in my opinion. If she were to go see, a psychologist, psychiatrist, somebody that would do the analysis, the evaluation, work with her and try to understand what lies beneath all of that rotten, molding, bacteria-ridden, skanky and benignness, it would be a lengthy analysis. It would be you'd have to measure aspects of her personality and thinking and sort of I don't want to get too detailed, but there'd be a lot more metrics that you would want to be able to kind of pin down so they could contribute to the equation that would ultimately give you an analysis, somebody say a diagnosis that I think would have lots of bullet points in it, probably. That's just my opinion, allegedly. Just my opinion is just me. She has a nasty disposition. She sure does. She is nasty. I know. She talks to him like a friend, not a freaking detective working on a major case. I know. And see, this is one of the things with her that, I kind of just keep going back to as a theme as we've been talking about this, that she has, and again, I'm not like the, word of the law kind of person. Actually, I'm not at all. I think that, you have to be responsible in your life and, care for others and not hurt other people and not, take all for you and leave none for everyone else. It's just not it's not the way to be. Right. So, at the end of the day, people, we are all more the same than we are different. We are all connected, and to, just at least recognize that, and, give something to that you are connected with other people, and you share a lot of sameness with them, is really, I don't think you can be really comfortable or content in this life without being there, like what I just described, like that to some degree. She's got none of that. She is she is like the least graceful human being on earth, maybe. I don't know. She has no grace. It's just really, somebody dropped her on her head when she was a baby. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. I'm just kidding. But I mean, it's just disgusting. I don't remember if there was more to listen to. I don't remember where we were. I am really tired. I now I sound like Nichol Kessinger, but I'm not saying that because I want to. Oh no, wait. I do want to finish what I was saying. Wait, let me look at Jeannie's post or what she posted again. Now I'm not just talking to myself. I'm mumbling to myself for you guys to be entertained by. Things are getting bad. So Jeannie said she talks to him like a buddy, a friend, not like a freaking detective working on a major case. Right. So her lack of respect for law, in law being that, kind of, unspoken, just social agreement we have with each other, with other human beings. So, we aren't ruining one another's lives and harming each other and, doing things to people that make them feel like they don't have any of individuality or freedom or all these things that we want to have. You don't want to be just stomping all over other people's, assets in that way. She don't care though. She doesn't have respect for other people. She doesn't have respect for those agreements that we have that sometimes are in the form of laws with each other. And she doesn't have respect for those who are tasked with enforcing it. Judges, investigators, police officers, like none. And that really is when consequences need to be implemented. Or else, there is no changing of this nasty woman's direction in life. And really, then you're not doing anyone a favor to just let this all slide. Yeah, totally. Karen G says, this reminds me of Amber Heard being mad at Johnny Depp for drinking his mega pint after his mom's funeral. Right. Something just like that, because Nichol Kessinger and Amber Heard talk about people being more the same than different. They are two peas in a really unappealing pod. Ugh, gross. Yeah. Okay, so Veronica says, Kelly, please. Oops, sorry. Yeah, she's super. She's definitely not. She is. If narcissism exists as a like personality or character trait or flaw, or however you want to look at it, if that does exist in the world at all, then she certainly has got it. I mean, for sure. Oh God, what an unappealing person. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Kessinger. You created a motherfucking horrible human being. Look what you've done. That's awesome. Good job. No offense or anything, but I don't know yet, but geez. Hit a home run with this one. All right. Veronica, where'd your comment go again? Yeah, I think definitely. Jeannie, I would love for her to write another. Kathleen McKenna Hootson, or Kathleen Hootson, friend of the channel, true crime author. We were just kind of chatting the other day. She was joking about, because she doesn't think that NK has anything to do with anything, and we don't have many same views on this case at all, in fact. But that's okay. I love her. She's awesome, and she's a great writer, and she's just awesome. So she's like, oh, if all these things are going on with NK and Rourke that you're saying, and maybe I don't know, I'll write another book, because she said that's something she would never do again on the Watts case. But I desperately want her to, because they're just so great. Blood and Marriage is one of her books on the Watts case. You should definitely read it if you haven't. It's awesome. Yeah, I've heard that she's sleeping with somebody higher up in Anadarko. I have never been able to verify that. I mean, possibly, but because I cannot find any kind of unnamed sources, things indicating that written somewhere. Nothing. I can't find. I've been looking for the breadcrumbs anywhere. I haven't found any. Oh, hey, thanks, Jessica. Says Kelly gives us the facts, not nitpicking the victims. Thank you. Yeah. Well, Cool Girl. Are you talking about like Cool Girl, like a la, like Gone Girl? Yeah. I don't know where your comment went, Veronica, because you asked me something very directed, and I wanted to respond, but I don't know where it went. Yeah, please stop talking about her dad dying. I couldn't believe any of this. And he's trying to change the topic desperately. She's just going on and on and on and on and on. Like, I was just watching that this time. This happened another couple other times when I watched that part where like my jaws just dropped, and I'm just like, you are a fucking horrible, horrible human being. Horrible. Let's see. And Kay's not an only child. She has a sister. Yeah, Karen G, this is a very good point too. Karen says, yes, her tone was like, oh, I don't know, pawn it, man. Was like, who like effing cares? Pawn it, man. How is she so worried as she claims if she's telling him to pawn Shanann's wedding ring when she was gone, like, yeah, less than a day? Great question, my dear. R.I.P. Abraham Lincoln. You would have loved Tough Tones. That's so over my head. Mike Applegate, how are you doing, friend? Says, it seems like BPD is a label given to women's behavior that consists of addiction issues and lack of self-control. Well, those are things that women with BPD would be far more likely to have than the average woman, statistically. But I mean, there's also a lot of other critical markers or indicators or, criteria that you would need to, really do a deep analysis to see if, the way a person is presenting in some way fulfills that criteria, or, it's a little more complicated than that. But are you saying something different? Am I reading it? It seems like BPD is a label given to women's. Oh, okay. Let me read this again, because you're not like the women. You're saying they're the behavior, not the person. But okay. Seems like BPD is the label given to women's behavior that consists of addiction issues and lack of self-control. I'm more associated with what I see stronger in bipolar personality disorder is the in over a person's life or span of time, the like extreme instability, changes in your core values, in your goals, in your interests, in your educational or career or job, or whatever pursuits, not having the ability to hold down a steady job or study anything really, because there's such a core central disruption within the I'm trying to think of the right word. It's too late for me to think of the right word, but yeah, so there's a lot of that, right? I was just gonna make a comparison to Brian Coburn, but I just had like image popped in my mind and I felt really adverse to it, so I'm not gonna go there. And then also with BPD, there is the the extreme ends of like any human emotion, but that having them to an extreme degree and in a very healthy and oftentimes obsessive way. Intense fear of abandonment, usually that shows up in your need to possess everything about your romantic partner and a really irrational, super irrational response to the smallest things that person might do that you perceive as maybe taking a step towards out the door. And I think that right there, that quality or sort of possible optional fulfilling of the criteria for BPD could be the root of why the murders happened. I really truly believe that. Sorry that I'm not more like, yeah, stop talking. Leard says, I think if NK said you can move in with me, this may not have happened. He doesn't have money for a place. No. And I think he just started to realize all that stuff. And I think, when it came down to it, as we talked about, he obviously had this intense affair. He went to North Carolina. And I do think that in Chris Watts' mind and the way he feels and the way he views everyone involved, his family, Shanann, the whole episode ongoing saga, whatever the hell it is, that was existing between Shanann Watts and Chris Watts' mother, Cindy. I think that was really, I think it became like I don't know. I think it became a really unhealthy like benchmark for him. And it just allowed him to make a lot of decisions that he couldn't make before because they were really hard decisions because he wasn't able to maintain, having his wife, his children, his family in that regard. And then having his family as in Ronnie and Cindy and Jamie, he was not able to pull off that, balance that billions of people across time and space have done, he just couldn't do it. He appreciates no nuance of the human condition. And he can't relate to people well enough. Yeah, exactly. Well said. Amanda Kay says, it's just it's just a chit chat about how her life and work and friends, just whatever she wants to talk about and nothing she doesn't want to talk about. That's right. She is running the show. Hell yeah, she is. Oh, that's really interesting. I hope you don't mind that I'm paying this. I lost over 300 pounds and it was a catalyst to my marriage ending. Didn't realize there was a lot of codependency in my marriage that I did not realize, but I never once thought about killing anyone. That's a really good point because I'm sure, yeah, first of all, just having that huge physical and, physiological change is, even if it's a positive thing, even if everything about it was positive, how much it kind of, takes the ground right out from underneath you sort of feeling is kind of, I don't know, that can be a very like vulnerable place to be for sure. But then also realizing that you have, it sounds like a pretty intense codependency is, yeah, that is some intense stuff. And I'm glad you didn't think of killing anybody. So you are not a psychopath. And I'm so happy about that. And I hope you're feeling healthy these days. Oh, it's okay. it's hard to like write, it's hard to make a proper statement of great impact when you're just chat away and chat and video and chat and channel creator starting to make absolutely no sense. Oh yes, absolutely, Maddie. Well said. She says the sense of entitlement is through the roof. Yeah, she is beyond. Oh my God. Whew. Huh. Jeannie was just saying to Adam, same thing happened to her sister. She lost 280 and a husband. I don't think she expected that part. Oh, wow. Yeah, those big life changes. I mean, it really, it really tests who you are at your core or reveals who you are at the core or the self you kind of didn't even know, right? Hmm. I just read this like 3 times, so I wasn't sure who you were talking about, but you're talking about Kessinger, right? Because when you said honey pot, I was thinking about also, the MLM. Okay, anyway. I think all those photos she continuously took were part of her possessiveness honey trap, evidence for her to play her control cards. Oh, absolutely. Yes, I 100% agree with you. Asking, is NK the oldest? Yes, I'm almost sure she is, right, guys? Is she? I believe so. I'm pretty sure she is. There's not a big age difference between herself and her sister. She comments during the interview, it's like the same as Cece and Bella. So it's like only like a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. Huh? What is this in regards to? Because I'm like super interested by it, but I don't know what the context is. She wasn't with anyone else during Chris' time. We have her phone bills for 2 months, for a 2-month period. If you check her calls, there are 0 unexplainable. Oh, is it continuing? I don't know why I just caught and like just it pulled me in. Huh, interesting. Okay, wait, there's just one other little part we'll watch and then I'm gonna have to call this a night and go sleepy. I'm so tired. Yay, and I have 2 months off for summer now. Woo! Man, I need a little break. Don't we all?
What?
So tell me about the new info that you
See right here.
Oh, just like wait.
And she apologized to me like she's
Rourke wrote that to you before. Is that fair?
Okay, just listen to this again. Just listen to this part like with continuity because I played it all chopped up before, and listen to how Kobach is. I feel as though I can clearly perceive how irritated he is and disgusted he is about this conversation. He keeps trying to redirect her. He's probably so sick of hearing this person's voice. My God, I can't even imagine. And she will not depart from hitting it hard on the topic of her best friend's father dying and her being so stuck up her own ass, she can't even like pretend to say a considerate word about this man that she knew losing his life or her best friend losing her only father. It's just so gross. It's so gross. You're disgusting. Yeah. Oh, wait, I did it again. I'm playing it on my editing stuff. Okay. So this is a timestamp 20. Wait, I'm having deja vu? I don't know.
You might want to talk to her, just so you know. I mean, sooner or later she's going to connect the dots, or you're going to tell her.
I know you have a good heart. I know
Oh,
you
we already read
I
that
know
yesterday.
it happened, but at that
You
point,
guys are best friends.
and she just is like freaking out. And finally, I just told her, you know, getting mad at me isn't going to bring your dad back. And that is when she chilled.
Okay.
Well, she kind of went on another rant, but it had nothing to do with Chris. And then she apologized to me this morning for being drunk and sad and angry after Dad died.
What other new information?
Okay, see, we got so much going on, I didn't even think I texted it myself because I can't protect myself.
You want to make sure before you leave you see Hazel. You need to get some help.
You need to get some help. The timestamp didn't translate on that one. I don't know.
She goes, I don't even care if he flirted with him.
Yes.
Same guy. Like,
Is he sad or is it still on?
no, I have no reason to delete anything else on my phone. The only reason I deleted all this stuff
I have no reason to delete anything else on my phone.
with Chris is because he was making me feel really uncomfortable, and I didn't want to see it in my phone anymore.
I know when people make me feel uncomfortable, I find the thing that makes me feel better, generally speaking, is just deleting any trace of their existence from my cell phone, and then I can just move on. It's always a good thing.
Okay.
This one's mine
This
now.
is nicer.
I know. iPhones suck. I'm kind of relieved to have this back.
Okay, so you want to move contacts from there to there.
That's all I want to do. Once you guys do that, then you guys can have this phone. I mean, he gave me a way to do it, so I think I need to connect to Wi-Fi, and then I need to download this app, and then I think once I download it, I can sync it up, and I need to just download the app on both phones.
So let me get a guy who knows about Wi-Fi. Is your password still 653038?
Yeah, that hasn't changed.
So that's going to be that one. And which one is getting all the new text messages? Your new phone?
No.
I've only got a few, and then like now I get what you're saying. Like they're out of order, they're scrambled, they're missing. They don't make sense. I got super excited when I saw them because I was like, maybe it'll be all of them, but it's not.
So
Ew.
maybe what I'll ask, we have a device that maybe we can download that too.
This one too? Sorry. I mean, I don't know if that'll work, but we can try it.
Here's mine.
Thank you first. Thank you.
Here's
And they
mine.
kind of knows how to get a hold of us after hours or whatever.
I appreciate that.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, okay. Are you giving her a spare phone? Is that what
She
you
has her own spare phone, but when she linked her accounts, a bunch of messages between her and Chris were recovered on her new phone.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna probably just celebrate right now
Oh, okay.
on her new phone, so we don't have to take all her phones.
Yeah, no doubt.
Are you good here for a bit? Okay.
Do you have some water or anything?
Please.
Okay.
Okay, so App Store.
Oh boy. Anywho. I don't know, guys.
Navan?
What? I must not. I don't know what's going on here. No ads. No ads.
It's the business travel platform that's taking the world by storm. Every employee can book their own flights and hotels. Everyone
Asked him everything. I just wanted him to have something that was accommodating for his whole family. And he told me that she was probably going to stay in the Frederick area, but he never said for sure. The first time.
Yeah, I got to save that for tomorrow because I have a big analysis of some of that.
We talked a lot about a lot of different things.
I hope I'm helping you guys.
You certainly are.
I hope so, because I don't like having this stuff on the top of my head. It's so hard, and so many days I can tell that my mind is trying to like block it all out right now, and I think it's almost like a subliminal like.
Ew, listen to her. You guys, I just see it's just disgusting.
Mentioned with your skill set that it should be easily employable in another locale.
I don't know. I hope somebody hires me. I hope people don't see my name on a resume and just not hire me.
Well, your name hasn't even made it in the papers yet.
Not yet.
So
Do that too.
They offered, they were concerned
He was just like, yeah.
Years ago, right? That everybody in the world knew about. It's not.
Listen to Kevin Kovac is just so ignorant. Listen to his comparison of this case to the Aurora movie theater shooting. Remember that? Oh, that was pretty horrible. But I mean, listen to this kind of, no, Kevin, you got everything wrong.
The court's gonna be like huge.
Well, I mean, it's national right now, but it's not like, you know, it's not the theater event that happened in Aurora 7 years ago, right?
It's way bigger, Kovac, but you were just kind of ignorant about most things. So that's cool. And, you know, 2020, it's a few years later, but it's just remarkable that he is like a whatever agent with the Colorado Bureau of Investigations, because he is like the worst interviewer slash with the, you know, lowest ability to be attentive and also think on his feet and respond intelligently. So he's actually conducting a meaningful inquiry rather than soliciting continual flow of skanky garbage
That everybody in the world knew about. It's not that.
Yes, it is that.
So certainly for you, so you've made it very difficult for them to find you. Do I think eventually that's on this? So I think he's still trying to get your phone to download.
Any of the ones from the Anadarko phone came in, but I don't know the number.
Okay.
I didn't see it. Maybe they can give me that number.
Oh, here's the Lucky Charms. I haven't heard this in a while. Let's listen to the Lucky Charms, and then I'll give you the context for it.
I was with my friends, and I stayed with me that night.
Okay, so this one's on Sunday night.
Yeah, that's
at 4:07 p.m. What's he talking about? Pounding fruit?
I wonder if just the way she was sitting, I was just, well, it's kind of was like, it's not really a classy comment, but I mean, never mind. I'm not
Is
gonna
that you or him?
That's him.
Talking.
Oh, so he was talking about that birthday party he was going to go to. Whoever was hosting it, I don't remember. Like, he told me the name once, but
Jeremy?
I forgot. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. Like, the only names that I remember very well is Nick and Mark. Those are the only two that I could be like, oh yeah, like I could tell you like maybe a little
Those
bit
are his
about
friends?
those people. Yeah.
Okay.
But he went to the birthday party and he said, oh, this guy always barbecues. And then he was saying, oh, he didn't barbecue.
Don't worry, we are getting to the Lucky Charms.
So he was saying he had fruit and asparagus. Yeah, didn't do any smoked barbecue this time. He did hot dogs. So he was saying he avoided that. He was like trying to eat healthy.
Oh my God.
This is the one I don't know if this is in order. I'm not sure exactly what this is referring to. I think this one at the bottom, this, oh my God, that's absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out. That, do you remember when I told you, like, I was always trying to, like, incorporate his kids and stuff? I mean, even if it wasn't, like, directly, like, me and
Watch
him,
and listen
but
to her
just,
carefully.
like, I was always thinking of cute stuff when I'd see stuff, and I was like, oh my God, little girls would like that. I would show him, and I found this box of Lucky Charms that was unicorn Lucky Charms.
Okay.
And I thought they were really cute. And I texted it to him and I was like, do your little girls know about these? Because they're awesome. And I was like, little stuff like that.
So
And I don't think that that's the 13th. Because
Isn't there something really different about the way her tone and tenor and the way she said this and basically everything else? Do you guys pick up on that too? Or do you hear that? I mean,
what day was the 13th? I can't remember.
Monday.
Was it Monday?
I think. I gotta look. Because I can't.
I think it will. No, well then maybe these are in order. Monday was the day I think that I sent that text.
Yes, that's Monday morning at 2:44 p.m. So that's an afternoon, Monday.
Yep.
Does that sound right?
I was at work when I texted it to
Okay.
him.
So that fits.
Okay, so then it is in order. So it is in order.
So
And this,
Yeah, why is she sitting like that? It's weird. It's a weird chair to be sitting like it's weird.
Okay, so this one's on Sunday night.
So listen carefully to how she
At
talks
4
about
or
the guilty
7
crime
p.m. What's he
things.
talking
Let
about?
me know what you
Pounding
think about how she
fruit?
says
Is that you or him?
that's him.
Talking.
So he was talking about that birthday party he was going to go to. Whoever was hosting it, I don't remember. Like, he told me the name once, but
Jeremy?
I forgot. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. Like, the only names that I remember very well is Nick and Mark. Those are the only two that I could be like, oh, yeah, like, I could tell you, like,
What's the obsession
What?
with crime?
Yeah.
What's the obsession?
We went to the birthday party,
subscribers.
and he said, oh, this guy always
707.
Why is
and
he
then he
doing
was
that?
saying, oh, he didn't barbecue, so he was saying he had fruit and asparagus. Yeah, didn't do any smoked barbecue this time. He did hot dogs, so he was saying he avoided that. He was like trying to eat healthy.
So this is the final one.
This is the one, I don't know if this is in order. I'm not sure exactly what this is referring to. I think this one at the bottom, this, oh my God, that's absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out. That, do you remember when I told you, like, I was always trying to, like, incorporate his kids and stuff? I mean, even if it wasn't, like, directly, like, me and him, but just, like, I was always thinking of cute stuff when I'd see stuff, and I was like, oh my God, little girls would like that. I would show him, and I found this box of Lucky Charms that was unicorn Lucky Charms.
Okay.
And I thought they were really cute, and I texted it to him, and I was like, do your little girls know about these? Because they're awesome. And I was like, little stuff like that.
So
and
that's,
I don't think that that's the 13th, because I don't think I talked to him that day. What day was the 13th? I can't remember.
Monday,
Was it Monday?
I think. I gotta look. Because I can't.
I think it will, no, well then maybe these are in order. Monday was the day I think that I sent that text.
Yes, that's Monday morning at 2:44 p.m. So that's an afternoon, Monday. Does that sound right?
It was at work when I texted it to
Okay.
him.
So that fits.
Okay, so then it is in order. So it is in order.
So
And this
is
makes
the 12th.
Because that's Sunday, right?
That's Sunday.
Okay, so they're in order. They're just missing a whole
So
bunch.
he's basically saying he's still at that
Barbecue.
and that fits. Okay, perfect.
Okay. So then this one is in the right place. I was thinking 8/13 was Tuesday, and I'm like, I don't think him and I had very pleasant conversation on Tuesday.
You want to screenshot all those to me?
Yeah. Okay, let's start with
And then
how do you
I turned this off, but
Oh, this is also weird. You like ninja chop it. Oh, I think that worked. Okay, so that takes us down to 6:29. So then I'm gonna scroll up to 6:30.
ninja chop. Interesting. It's old school.
I had to do a self-psychotic transmission in my house last night. I did not like it. I was like, this is scary. That's cool. I got to do that, so hopefully I don't have to go back. Okay.
So what you're doing now, let me ask you about the text with you and Charlotte.
Yes.
You talk about children and he's got his own kids and that makes you kind of uncomfortable because you'd like to have your own family. Put that in context for me. Is that a fair statement the way I'm saying it?
Don't want to hear about that anymore.
I mean, I guess. There was never anything I said to him though.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Did you ever say anything to him about
Never.
anything about his kids being a problem? Anything about his wife being a problem?
Never. I always try to be so inclusive with them. And even with her, when I was talking to her, it wasn't that his kids were an issue. It was just this man already has a life. Should I?
Oh my gosh. Wow. I seriously just fell asleep there. I'm not even kidding. Okay. So, the time so when she sends that text message, was it?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It'll come in clearer, or you come.
And you went to the Rockies game.
Yeah. this box of Lucky Charms that was unicorn Lucky Charms.
Okay.
And I thought they were really cute, and I texted it to him. That came around.
Monday,
Was it Monday?
I think. I gotta look. Because I can't.
I think it will, no, well then maybe these aren't.
What time again?
Monday was the day I think that I sent that text.
Yes, that's Monday morning at 2:44 p.m. So
They're really
Okay. So when Chris Watts receives that text, he's caught on camera. He's on body cam, Officer Coonrod's body cam, and he's in Nate's house. It's right around the time when the American Horror Story commercial comes up with the fetus and the oil. Just super crazy. There, okay, found my way with the 5,000 windows I have open here. Now, there was some differential that had been determined between the actual time and with the officer's body cam time set. It might be a matter, I can't remember. When I look at it, I might remember. But it's all been worked out. I just cannot remember those details right now. Because if you ask me about something and it happened like so long ago, I might not remember like all the details and all that. You know, who am I impersonating? Okay, so this says 20. Oh, this is just a little excerpt of it. So I don't think it's when he's texting right here, but because this would be at 2:39, but he's probably texting.
Is this on continually?
Yep.
Recording?
Yep. Well,
It's not. Is it motion or is it? Okay, so it's motion.
Any motion event that happens, I get cars driving from this street, and this is him at 517.
Look at how tucked into himself he is right there. I never noticed his chin is like glued on his chest. Oops.
So you park out there on the side, I just want to get everything back in. Be easier. So loading everything out there, all the tools that I had to bring in.
Oh, look, he looks like he is about to pass out. Oh my God. It makes me anxious to watch.
What else can I do with it?
My detective just showed up.
What did he say? What else? What did he say? What else can I do? He just sounded like JP Miller. I'm going. What did he just say?
What else can I do with it?
Look at him. Oh my God.
My detective just showed up. So he'll probably want to talk to you. He'd probably, like I said, he might have you call at the bank and see if there's any kind of activity.
Because if there was any sort of action out there,
On his cameras,
I would have got it.
Like
Right.
we had issues the other week when people were stealing stuff out of like garages and stuff like that, and I had parked my truck
I
up
had
here.
to park right here.
Yeah, so someone
See if
I could
anything
see where
happened.
someone tried to jimmy with a flathead screwdriver over there, and it was just like.
But if any action would have happened, any cars or anything left your house, I would
Yeah, it would have been like right in that area. It should have picked. I mean,
Oh, it'll pick up anything coming down the street this way.
you know where that tree is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Watch, I'll show you. There's nothing on here. We've already watched that one. But like, you'll see this car.
What security system do you have?
Next to this car. You can see this car starting to drive down the street.
That one.
Oh,
See what I'm saying? It picks up all the way down there.
that's cool.
He's next door.
Can we go?
I was talking about dispatcher.
Yeah.
He'll be close for.
But yeah, we can pick up cars coming this way. I get anything coming this way and making a turn. So, and usually at night I pick up the cars going to your turn. So unless they pulled right here,
Yeah.
but I would have caught her walking out. Diesel. So yeah, I thought nothing.
Nothing for the rest of the day.
No, that's it.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks.
Look at that. That is not a sign. I don't know what is.
That's why her friend said it was low blood sugar.
Now, before we go into the sign sent straight from the American Horror Story commercial,
Oh gosh. Oh wait, I might talk about it in this video.
I just want you to notice something. If you're to take a look at Officer Coonrod's body cam clock, right now, when Chris Watts is saying, oh, and she's pregnant, she's 14, 15 weeks pregnant, fesses that up for the first time to Officer Coonrod, it is 2:42 p.m. Now, I'm sure you notice all the while when Officer Coonrod and neighbor Nate are looking at the security camera footage and they're focusing on it, Chris Watts is pacing around looking like he's basically going to pass out, and he's looking at his phone an awful lot. So if we were to cross-reference material from the discovery, we will find out that Chris Watts sends Nichol Kessinger a message at 2:44 p.m. just after this moment right here, when Chris Watts tells Officer Coonrod that Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant. And it says, oh my gosh, that's absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out. Since many of the messages between Chris Watts and Nichol Kessinger were erased, we don't know exactly what this message was in reference to, so we can only speculate, but we can hear what Nichol Kessinger has to say about it.
The pineal gland has tiny little cilia, hair-like extensions all around it. When you hold your breath and you finally let your breath out and you allow that cerebrospinal fluid to accelerate, the acceleration of that cerebrospinal fluid begins to stimulate and tickle those little cilia. And as it begins to become stimulated, the pineal gland begins to release very sacred chemicals. And when you apply a mechanical stress,
Jesus. Okay. Liardi, you said she's touching his hand. Are you talking about NK when she was like they were both leaning in and Kobach? They're well, you know, she's just always inappropriate, but she doesn't have a professional responsibility to fulfill there. He does, so he's really inappropriate. I think he is, not just at that moment, but just across the board.
Someone, I don't know if this is in order. I'm not sure exactly what this is referring to. I think that
oh no, oh wait,
one at the bottom, this, oh my god, that's absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out. That, do you remember when I told you, like, I was always trying to, like, incorporate his kids and stuff? I mean, even if it wasn't, like, directly, like, me and him, but just, like, I was always thinking cute stuff when I'd see stuff, and I was like, oh my god, little girls would like that. I would show him, and I found this box of Lucky Charms that was unicorn Lucky Charms, and I thought they were really cute, and I texted it to him, and I was like, do your little girls know about these? Because they're awesome. And I was like, little stuff like that. And
so to give the American Horror Story commercial that pops up on the screen when neighbor Nate, Officer Coonrod, and Chris Watts are looking at the security camera footage, trying to find his missing wife who's pregnant and his two daughters, when upon the screen pops up a fetus and some other things we're going to discuss in a moment in the American Horror Story commercial. This is all going on while Chris Watts is texting with his mistress about who knows what that culminates into a text. Oh my gosh, that's absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out. That is explained by Nichol Kessinger by, well, you just heard it. So if this American Horror Story commercial is a sign, and if it is a sign that was sent from Shanann to be like, hey, yeah, don't forget us. We were of this earth just a few hours ago, and we are no longer of this earth because of you, jackass. It makes all the more sense to me that it happens in that timing.
So unless they pulled right here, but I would have caught her walking out.
Right, Jeannie, right.
So yeah, I thought nothing.
Nothing for the rest of the day.
No, that's it.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks.
Now I know that many people have caught the fetus coming up on the screen at that moment, but whoa, did you see what followed?
Nothing for the rest of the day.
No, that's it.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks.
Here's the whole commercial.
If you're curious to see the tricks of my sleeve, all you find is yours to keep. Brave, always brave enough to be the desires that you see. On my hand, I'll set you free.
Let's watch that in slow motion.
Yeah, let's do that. It's crazy.
Wow, that is truly incredible. Please leave a comment letting us know what you think. We all want to know what you think. And do you believe that this commercial, this American Horror Story commercial that played at just the right time in front of Chris Watts' very eyes, in front of the eyes of law enforcement, do you think this was a sign?
Hi, we're Visible, the wireless company that makes things visible. With us, what you see is what you get. So a one-line plan with unlimited data?
All right, kids. I seriously keep dozing off. I'm gonna have to wrap this up. So thanks for being here. Wow. Oh my gosh. These always end up being long. I was like, I'm just gonna get on for an hour because I'm not doing the premiere tonight. But oh yes, remember the premiere tomorrow night. It'll be at 9. I think it's about 2 hours unless we end up being told we ought to edit certain things out. And then our friend Guilty of Crime, the creator Jay, is going to be us talking about probably this case, or I don't know, talking about true crime for sure. She's awesome. I just love her. I love her thinking, and she's great energy. We love Jay. Melissa says the scariest way it could be made known. I got your number, Chris. I know what you did through American Horror Story. Seriously, right? I mean, that must have been a really, I think that would be a pretty crazy, surreal experience for even the cuckoo-est of us around. Yeah, it's creepy and heavy. Yeah, all that. Yeah. 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 Documentary. Speaking of that, am I saying it right? Documentary. Documentary. Thank you all for teaching me how to say documentary. It's not documentary. It's documentary. Many of you know, many of you don't. It's cool. Hey, thanks, Red Librarian. It's always nice having you here. Speaking of documentary, tomorrow night I'm doing the, just the premiere on just the, you know, content I was telling you about. It is complete justice for the victims and for all of us members of the civilized world who understand that there is, I don't know, I always feel like uncomfortable. I feel a little bit uncomfortable saying cover up, but I mean, there are definitely things being covered up by people in positions of power. And I guess that's essentially what a cover up is, right? You know, so it's focused towards that and making the points that, you know, I believe and others believe, and maybe we agree on all of them, maybe we agree on some of them. The points that need to be made to get the attention of somebody in Colorado or I don't know, somewhere else who can actually make a move that can cause things to shift. And the right thing can be done, which would be to investigate Nichol Kessinger thoroughly, guys. I mean, anytime you have a potential suspect in a case, especially like a murder case, you are going to hear what the alibi is of anyone who is suspected of having anything to do with it, right? And then you're going to vet out those alibis. And sometimes it's easy to do. Sometimes it's really freaking hard work, and it can get technically complicated, and it can get just, you know, it can get complicated in a million different ways, but it is always done every single time without fail, because one of the ways to determine who is guilty of such a horrible crime is to understand that some people that seem like they may have had the, you know, had the means and time to do it, simply didn't do it because we know they were doing something else. And it can be easier to prove that than to solve an entire crime. You know what I mean? So it's something that's always done. She went through 5 interviews with CBI and the FBI. They never once mentioned her alibi, gave her pushback on whatever she did tell people she was doing at the time of the murders. You know, well, you know, that something doesn't line up there, girl, because your phone pinged in Frederick, Colorado, 23 miles from your house, you know, just minutes after Chris Watts took off in his truck with his family, his bodies, or you know, whatever, his family in that truck to do unthinkable, unspeakable things with their bodies. And that just happens to be the one morning ever, or at least across, you know, 2 billing cycles that you happen to ping within. It can be determined from experts that whose work was done through this channel, 200 to 300 yards of 2825 Saratoga Trail, 200 to 300 yards, 200 to 300 yards. Yeah. So all there, even though that it ping and all these other incriminating factors exist, there was no pushback and there was no, you know, validating of, and I don't know, there's just so much that needs to be done. We're going to talk about more tomorrow because I'm really tired, as I keep saying. Thank you guys for being here. I hope y'all have a good night, good morning, whatever it is for you. Aw, thanks. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks, guys. You're so sweet. Love you guys. Kelly's pronouncing it correctly if she lived in the UK. Which way? Documentary or document? I don't know. I'm so confused about that issue now. You guys scarred me for life. Stop telling me how to pronounce shit. I'm just kidding. It was really remarkable, though, how upset some people got about that, what they considered to be a mispronunciation. Yes, she was not investigated. Thank you. Lee has the words when I don't. Thank you, dear. Is that how you pronounce your name? Is it Giselle, or is it pronounced differently? I asked you that like 3 hours ago. Oh my goodness. See, I'm closing the loop. I'm closing the loop. Thank you. Thank you, dear. I will. Thank you for becoming a member too. Aw, sweet Honey Bun just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Honey Bun. You're awesome. Thank you for moderating tonight too. I really appreciate that. And Honey Bunny and I are going to get together in another couple days because Honey Bun is artistic enough. She's going to help me with some What's the Obsession merchandise design because that is coming this summer. Do you want to know what else is coming this summer? I was almost going to mention it because I said the word a few times in a couple different ways. The Watts case documentary. I don't fucking know how to say it. Whatever. I'm going to just spell it. But anyway, I've been working on that for like a year. I mean, really more, but I've been actually putting it together for over a year. So I'm really excited about that. And what I tried to do was to tell everybody who plays a critical role in this case, I mean, family members, law enforcement, the victims clearly, guilty person or suspects, or I don't know, try to tell their story, even if ever so briefly, and then try to show how it impacted this case overall, or the outcome of this case. I thought it, like, I obviously was interested in the idea. That's why I went with it. I hope you guys like it, but I'm really excited. I'm really excited to show you guys. It's been a lot of work. I haven't been working on it every day for 2 years, like Nichol Kessinger was with trying to find Chris Watts an apartment. But I mean, it's just been in the works. So then I paused to think about what to do. And Mm-hmm. And I didn't see if I pronounced that right, but Giselle, I believe, says, well, there's not a statute of limitations on death or on murder, and Rourke only has these last 4 years. So if he doesn't do anything, maybe the next DA will. That is kind of what I think a lot of people are holding on to, is a possible beacon of hope, including myself to some degree. The next election is, yes, I'm going to say this correctly, is in November, right? And then he could have another possible 4 years. Is he going to run uncontested again? Can we find somebody to run against him who is a formidable opponent? Please. What's the obsession will sponsor you, please. He's just horrible. He's just, I don't know. He's horrible. Okay, BBC says documentary. Okay. Okay, well, thank you. I feel better about myself. Aw, so nice. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I can't even going to try to pronounce that right now. T Norway. Welcome. How are you doing? Right. Yeah, really good point. Again, Amanda K says, see, that's my biggest hurdle. If she's a protected witness or anything, then why make the evidence look this way? Well, okay. So she could be a protected witness, and the evidence is looking a certain way to us because we're looking as deeply into it as we can without having all of the privileges and access that actual law enforcement, for example, has, right? So maybe the evidence is looking this way because the evidence is this way because the reality went down this way, and we're seeing what it looks like maybe for what it is. So whether if that is the case and she is more involved than she would like us to know, whether she is protected or not is kind of irrelevant because, it is what it is. If the evidence shows us that she has committed some horrible crimes because she has, protection's only going to go so far, I think. Veronica says, hope you never sleep well again, Skanky and Banana. Oh, boy. Yes, please hit the like. Please hit the, I can't even. So I was going to say the lights up. Please hit like. All right. Love you guys. Everybody, lock your windows or doors. If you want to be extra safe, if you need some fresh air, you can open them. That's okay. But just make sure you're aware of your surroundings and you're safe, because we love you and we want you here. We want you here being safe. And remember, life is hard, so be nice to each other. Please be respectful to the victim's family members in this case. You guys were awesome in chat tonight. I really appreciate it. And most of all, be good to yourself, because you deserve it. And I deserve some sleep. Really, I do. I need to sleep. I love you guys so much. I hope to see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. for the premiere. And then Friday night at 9 p.m. But let's be real, it'll be 9:30-ish or so, maybe 9:30. With Jay from Guilty of Crime. I can't wait. She's so much fun and she's super smart and she's great. So, all right. Love you guys. I am just going to head out and I'll let you chat just a little longer. So I will put something in the outro spot. Well, I don't have a lot of options because a lot of the music I bought a license to, I cannot play now. So it's something I made recently. But ding. Mwah. Everyone take care. Have a good night. Justice for Shanann, Bella, Cece, and unborn baby Nico.
Shanann Watts and her two daughters, 3-year-old Celeste and 4-year-old Bella, vanished on Monday. Their startling disappearance triggering a statewide alert as police and the FBI focus on her home outside Denver, where she was last seen.
Say hi. Say hi. Cece likes the camera. Say hi, Cece. She loves the camera. Say hi. Hi. She loves the camera. I don't know if you guys saw her. And then there's Bella. Say hi. We got to get her dressed. We have a team meeting here in, I don't know what time it is, in like 45 minutes. I was in a really bad place, and I got a friend request from Chris on Facebook, and I was like, oh, what the heck, I'm never gonna meet him. Except, well, one thing led to another, and 8 years later, we have 2 kids, we live in Colorado, and he's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Oh.
Hi, baby. It's hot. Big hug.
Where is he? Where's Chris?
And the viciousness of the crime. And equally aggravating in this court's determination is the despicable act of disposing of the bodies in the manner in which they were done in this case. I've been a judicial officer now for starting my 17th year, and I could objectively say that this is perhaps the most inhumane and vicious crime that I have handled out of the thousands of cases that I have seen.